Chapter 200. The car suddenly slipped forward. I didn't mean it. Chao Yuliang smiled bitterly. But, Jinpeng's car followed. Why did you make a move? Can you take back the water that has been spilled? Li Shanying said, all right, there is still a plan. The boat will be delivered soon. Just wait. All right, young Master Li. Chao Yuliang hung up the phone and glanced at Chen Jinpeng. It was my mistake today. The car slipped. They didn't have time to react. I see. Chen Jinpeng's heart was filled with resentment. *CK, it was better to follow Xiao Chen. At least Xiao Chen didn't almost kill me. Following you, this mistake almost killed me. However, in comparison, Chen Jinpeng hated Xiao Chen more. He could only think about it. Besides, what happened today was also Li Shanying's fault. What kind of lousy plan was that? It was easier to use a sniper rifle than to throw an object from a high altitude. Of course, in many cases, the martial arts families had to abide by the rules of the martial arts families. Although they were strong, they couldn't openly break the rules of the secular world. Living in the secular world, they had to accept the dual management of the Warrior Guild and the Supernatural Investigation Bureau. When they didn't violate the rules, the Warrior Guild might ignore them. However, if they really violated the rules, they would have to bear the consequences. Not to mention that they would send experts to deal with you. Even if they blocked your points and account in the Warrior Guild, it would be enough to make you suffer. Which martial arts family could bypass the Warrior Guild and exist alone? Perhaps, the colorful Li family couldn't, and the Chao family and Chen family in Songning also couldn't. Chen Jinpeng was just fantasizing about it. He could kill Xiao Chen, but he couldn't break the rules of the secular world. It's okay. Li Shanying will send the fishing boat in a while. At that time, it will be easier to feed him to the sharks. Chao Yuliang said faintly, don't blame me for what happened today. I want to kill Xiao Chen more than you do. I suspect that Xiao Chen did something to the car. Hearing Chao Yuliang's explanation, Chen Jinpeng suddenly remembered that his car's license had turned into Jin Beibei. Could it be that Xiao Chen really knew some tricks like magic? It was really possible. In this way, Chen Jinpeng didn't have such a big grudge against Chao Yuliang. He had to admit that Chao Yuliang was a scheming person. He pretended to be a playboy and hid his strength for so many years with Xiao Chen's. Cheng Menjing pretended to be careless. She walked past Xiao Chen and kicked the sand on the beach. There's a shell, it's pricking me to death. Xiao Chen, quickly help me pull it out. Xiao Chen. Okay. Xiao Chen was dazed for a moment and bent down. Right when Xiao Chen bent down, Cheng Menjing said in a low voice, hey, be careful later. Don't tell me that you don't know who the big iron block that fell was for. I know, but I'm used to it. It's okay. Xiao Chen reached out to take off Cheng Menjing's sandals indifferently. That's unnecessary. Cheng Menjing withdrew her foot and dodged. She was just making up a random excuse. Men and women should not touch each other. She was not happy to let Xiao Chen touch her foot. Also, seeing that the guy did not care at all and regarded her kindness as malice, she was quite angry. After hanging up the phone and moving the stuff, Chao Yuliang saw the scene not far away. A vague smile flashed on his lips. It seemed that Cheng Menjing did not treat Xiao Chen well at all. She was also on guard against him and would not let him take advantage of her. Now, it seemed that if Xiao Chen died, Cheng Menjing would not retaliate too much. The only unstable factor was Jin Beibei. It would be great if Jin Beibei died, too. Very soon, Li Shanying's men arrived with 2 fishing boats. Chen Jinpeng pretended to sign a contract. Then, Li Shanying's men left, leaving the fishing boats behind. Boss Xiao Chen, do you want to go fishing or not? After Chen Jinpeng rented the fishing boats, he turned around and asked Xiao Chen, who was not far away, "there are 2 fishing boats. Let's each take one, shall we?" "No, you go by yourself. I'm tired." Xiaochen would not go if there was no benefit in it. Besides, who knew if there was something wrong with the boat? Was it a trick to trap him? Well, Chen Jinpeng was a little confused. He turned around and looked at Chao Yuliang. In the past, Xiaochen was a man who liked to show off very much. Especially in front of Shen Jingxian, he would rush to go fishing. But now, it was really hard for him to understand. Originally, when Chao Yuliang took Chen Jinpeng as his underling, he wanted to humiliate Xiaochen. Secondly, because he had followed Xiaochen for so many years, he thought that Xiaochen knew Xiaochen very well. As the saying goes, know yourself and know your enemy, and you will never be defeated. But now it seemed that this idiot did not know Xiaochen as well as he did. Chao Yuliang gave Chen Jinpeng a look, then pointed in the direction of Shen Jingxian. Chen Jinpeng knew that Chao Yuliang wanted to make Shen Jingxian say a few words, using a honey trap or something, but Chen Jinpeng had his own difficulties. He couldn't order Shen Jingxian at all. She didn't listen to him. If Shen Jingxian could help them to harm Xiaochen, Xiaochen would have been dead long ago. "Boss Xiaochen, didn't you like to show off in front of Shen Jingxian the most?" Chen Jinpeng couldn't persuade Shen Jingxian. In desperation, he could only run to Xiaochen's side and whispered, "Think about it. When Shen Jingxian sees your heroic appearance, she might, are you an idiot?" Xiaochen glanced at Chen Jinpeng. "I found out that you followed Chao Yuliang for a while, and your brain was damaged. You like to be cuckolded, right? Do you mean to make your fiancé like me?" This. Chen Jinpeng was not a smart person. Otherwise, he wouldn't be willing to be a lackey. He thought of this after being reminded by Xiaochen. Before, he was thinking about Xiaochen's previous performance and ignored that he had become Shen Jingxuan's fiancé. "Jingxian, Jinpeng wants me to show off my ability to catch fish in front of you. He wants you to see how valiant I look. What do you think?" Before Chen Jinpeng could reply, Xiaochen turned to look at Shen Jingxian, who was chatting with the young mistress not far away. Shen Jingxian was stunned, but when she saw Chen Jinpeng's embarrassed look, she knew that Xiaochen might not be talking nonsense. She hated Chen Jinpeng even more, but she quickly figured out the key point. Chao Yuliang and Chen Jinpeng had been plotting to kill Xiaochen. They didn't succeed last time, so they definitely wouldn't let it go. Although she wasn't clear about the plan this time, it seemed to be related to fishing. Otherwise, Chen Jinpeng wouldn't do this kind of action. "It seems that your fiancé is very supportive of me. Then, I will reluctantly go fishing," Xiaochen said faintly. Chen Jinpeng wanted to say "support my ass," but he didn't dare to say it. If he said it and Xiaochen didn't go, then he would bear the humiliation for nothing. "But, you have to go far away to fish. Where are the sharks near the shore? Why don't you let Shen Jingxian sit on my boat? Otherwise, she won't be able to see my heroic appearance, and I won't have the motivation to fish," Xiaochen suggested. Chen Jinpeng cursed in his heart. "Let you and Shen Jingxian on the boat? Then, wouldn't I be unable to take off my green hat?" Thinking of this, Chen Jinpeng quickly said, "No need, I will also go out to sea. I will drive the boat and pull her, and follow behind you." "Okay, do as you wish." Although Xiaochen said so, he had a question mark in his heart. Earlier, he had asked Shen Jingxian to get on his boat because he wanted another protection. After all, the ocean was not like the continent. If she fell into the ocean, even though Xiaochen was a cultivator, it would be difficult for him to deal with it. The best protection here was undoubtedly Shen Jingxian. If she went, Chen Jinpeng and Chao Yuliang would definitely be against her together with him. As for the eldest lady, Chao Yuliang had been crazy enough to kill her last time. Only Shen Jingxian of the Shen family could scare Chao Yuliang. Although the Shen family was not a local family in Songning City, they were certainly not to be messed with. The Shen family was the birthplace of the Shen family, and they were deeply connected to the Warriors Guild. It was impossible for Chao Yuliang to be reckless. Before, Xiaochen had thought that Chao Yuliang and Chen Jinpeng would play tricks on the boat, but it did not seem to be the case. Chen Jinpeng was going to go to sea with them, too. Was there something wrong with only one boat? Seeing that Xiaochen was going to go fishing for Shen Jingxian, Cheng Menjing was more than infuriated. Why were you never so agile when I asked you to do anything? Shen Jingxian asked you to go fishing because of your valiant appearance? How infuriating. She did not know if he was really stupid or just pretending to be stupid. I already told him that there might be danger, but he was still fooled because he was obsessed with Shen Jingxian and ignored my advice. Cheng Menjing did not think that Shen Jingxian was bad, but she was Xiao Chen's fiancée. Then, shall we go to sea now? Chen Jinpeng wanted to end the battle quickly. Brother Liang will start the fire by the shore. Oh, okay. Xiao Chen nodded indifferently. Chao Yuliang originally wanted to go to sea with Chen Jinpeng, but the fishing boat was a small one, and there was only space for 2 people on it, so he could only start the fire by the shore. In fact, starting a fire was not an easy job, especially when traveling. They would buy high-density compressed charcoal, which was very difficult to ignite. Even martial artists could not do it well and could only blow on it while lighting it. However, Chao Yuliang had boasted that he could do anything. Moreover, how could he let Xiao Chen do it? Then how could he kill him? Hey, Bebe, Xiao Chen is too unreliable. He can't risk his life for Shen Jingxian, can he? Cheng Menjing complained to Jean Bebe unhappily. Oh, cousin Menjing is jealous. Jean Bebe said with a smile. Why are you not nervous? Not angry? Don't you like him? Cheng Menjing was a little curious about Jean Bebe's attitude. It was impossible for her not to see through Chao Yuliang's scheme. Don't worry. Brother-in-law is a transformer. It's fine. Jean Bebe, on the other hand, believed in Xiao Chen. In her opinion, Xiao Chen only agreed to go fishing because he was confident. Besides, he is fishing for me. Why should I be angry? Chapter 201. Cheng Menjing couldn't understand Jean Bebe's logic. Where did she get her confidence from? He's obviously trying to please Shen Jingxian. He's fishing for Bebe. Cousin-in-law is the best to Bebe. Shen Jingxian is just an excuse. Jean Bebe said. You're really confident. Cheng Menjing shook her head, feeling a little dissatisfied. This Xiao Chen is good to Shen Jingxian, Jean Bebe, Tang Tang, and Kerlin, but not me. Although Shen Jingxian wasn't willing to go out to sea with Chen Jinpeng, she was also a little worried about Xiao Chen. She really wanted to persuade Xiao Chen not to do so, but Chen Jinpeng was next to him. She couldn't say anything, so she could only follow and see if there was anything she could help with. Boss Xiao Chen, which boat do you want? Chen Jinpeng pointed at the 2 fishing boats on the beach and asked. Oh, I want this one. Xiao Chen pointed at one of the boats and said. Okay. Chen Jinpeng nodded and was about to go to the other boat. Wait, I still want this one. This one's number is cooler, 18. It's going to be rich. The previous one was 13. Doesn't it mean it's going to flip? It's inauspicious. Xiao Chen changed to the other boat. Oh, that's fine too. Chen Jinpeng didn't care so much. In his opinion, Xiao Chen couldn't escape the fate of flipping over no matter which boat he chose. However, Xiao Chen was surprised. It seemed that Chen Jinpeng and Chao Yuliang didn't do anything to the fishing boat. Xiao Chen changed boats temporarily to test whether there was a problem with one of the boats. But in the end, there shouldn't be any problems. With Chen Jinpeng scheming, it was impossible for him to not reveal anything. If it had been Chao Yuliang, Xiao Chen wouldn't have been so sure, but how could he not know what kind of person Chen Jinping was? After following him for so long, how could he not know? He was completely a villain with no shrewdness. Xiaochen boarded the fishing boat 18 and adjusted the machine. This fishing boat was not much different from the previous speedboat. Xiaochen also joined a yacht club before, so he was naturally familiar with it. However, this kind of small fishing boat was still very dangerous when going into the sea. It was fine if it encountered a shark, but if it encountered a group of sharks, it would definitely die because this boat was too small to withstand the attack. Duck, duck, duck. The sound of the motor sounded, and Xiaochen drove the fishing boat into the sea. Chen Jinping also carried Shen Jingxian and followed Xiaochen into the sea. Humph. Cheng Menjing snorted coldly. It's okay. Cousin-in-law can handle it. Jean Beibei said indifferently. Since she discovered a lot of shocking things, she had full confidence in Xiaochen. If he dies, who will cook for us? Cheng Menjing was a little absent-minded. On the surface, Chao Yuliang was trying to make a fire, but he was secretly observing Xiaochen and Chen Jinping. Seeing that they had successfully entered the sea, a smile flashed across his mouth. Although there might be sharks in the nearby sea, it was not certain that there would be. After all, even if there was a hole in the protective net, a shark would have to be able to get in before the patrolling people found it. Otherwise, the shark would definitely be searched and driven back. Xiaochen drove the fishing boat into the sea and wandered aimlessly. Although he had not used a fishing gun, the principle of this thing was relatively simple. He just needed to shoot at sharks. With Xiaochen's current strength, he could easily control it. Moreover, Xiaochen's six senses were powerful, so his accuracy was not worse than those professional fishermen. Chen Jinping leisurely followed behind Xiaochen. His purpose was not to catch sharks, but to witness Xiaochen's death. He did not know if the people arranged by Li Shanning had arrived yet. Although Xiaochen was going to die, Chen Jinping could not help but belittle him. Jingxian, look at Xiaochen. He likes to show off. I guess he has never touched a fishing gun before. Now that you want to see it, he shows off. This kind of person is really unreliable. Don't say that about Xiaochen. Who doesn't have a young and aggressive time? Although Shen Jingxian said so, she was very puzzled. That night, when Xiaochen sent her home, his words and actions did not show any desire for her. So, how could Xiaochen show off in front of her to fish? It was completely unrealistic. Could it be that Xiaochen deliberately pretended before to attract her attention, and when he realized that he failed to attract her attention, he started to attract her attention again? Shen Jingxian felt that Xiaochen should not be so bored. If Shen Jingxian did not have that night's contact, she might think so. But now, Shen Jingxian felt that Xiaochen did things with a purpose. He would not do things that did not benefit him, and it was impossible for him to take risks for a girl. But Chen Jinping wanted to say that it was not worth it to lose his life because of a young and aggressive time, but he stopped in time. If Shen Jingxian knew the truth, it would be a big deal. She was not one of them, so she could not tell Cheng Menjing. Just as they were talking, Chen Jinping heard the sound of a motor in the distance. He turned his head and couldn't help but be happy. 2 yachts were speeding in this direction. These 2 yachts were driven by Li Shanning and Lin Chao. Not only was Lin Chao good at racing, but he was also good at racing. Li Shanning was a martial artist, so he could drive a yacht. But in today's plan, he was only an assistant, and Lin Chao was the executor. These 2 yachts were modified. They were very sturdy, especially the bow. The balancing ability was also modified. This was a yacht used in the underground racing black market to participate in the underground competition. If it was not sturdy, it would not be able to participate at all. It would have been smashed by others. Both of them were wearing large sunglasses, so from the appearance, they would not be recognized. Moreover, Xiaochen and Shen Jingxian had not seen Lin Chao and Li Shanning, so they would not suspect their origin. "Hey, buddy, let's have a match," Lin Chao shouted to Xiaochen from afar. Xiaochen glanced at the yacht that Lin Chao and Li Shanning were driving over. He could not help but frown. Where did these two people come from? What are they doing here? This was a dangerous area nearby. Xiaochen did not believe that these two people did not know. Wasn't it crazy to drive the yacht so far? Not interested, Xiaochen said faintly. F***ck, you guys are quite arrogant, huh? Lin Chao spat out a swear word sarcastically. Why? Are you looking down on your brother? There is also a little girl here. She is quite pretty. Li Shanning also came over at this time and said, let's have a match. Win 100,000 yuan, or the little girl can stay. The little girl was naturally Shen Jingxian. Chen Jinpeng also had the mentality of watching a show at this time. He pretended to be angry and said to Xiaochen, Boss Xiaochen, let's have a match with them. F***ck, how dare they make fun of your goddess? Isn't that your fiancée? Did you give her to me? Xiaochen glanced at Chen Jinpeng and understood in his heart. These two people were most likely sent by Chao Yuliang and Chen Jinpeng to deal with him. They threw him into the water in this sea in the middle of nowhere. With his previous strength, even if the sharks did not come, there was absolutely no possibility of survival. F***ck, what's wrong? Are you ignoring me? Lin Chao saw that Xiaochen did not pay attention to him, and suddenly became angry. He came to cause trouble. Of course, he would not let go of this opportunity to cause trouble. He circled the yacht around Xiaochen's fishing boat and then scolded, one sentence, do you want to compete? Xiaochen knew that whether he competed or not, the other party would play tricks. It was meaningless. It was better not to compete. He wanted to see what tricks the other party could play, so he said lightly, I am catching sharks. I don't have time to care about you. If you are willing to compete, look, that guy is more excited than me. Go to him. Xiaochen pointed in the direction of Chen Jinpeng and said. Quite arrogant, huh? You don't want to compete, right? Lin Chao started the yacht and directly crashed in the direction of Xiaochen. Although Xiaochen did not know how to race an underground boat, it was the same as driving. Xiaochen was already familiar with the operation of the fishing boat. He could do some very precise control, but he was not willing to show it before. Now that Lin Chao rushed over, Xiaochen instantly calculated the distance and time. He directly turned the bow and dodged it easily. Lin Chao was slightly stunned. He did not expect that not only did Xiaochen know how to race, but he also drove the yacht very well. This was a bit rare. Generally, these young masters played with cars. Those who played with yachts only knew how to drive. They did not have the movements and reactions of these underground racing boats. However, Xiaochen's reaction was very fast, which surprised Lin Chao a little. However, he was not worried. Racing in the sea was different from racing on land. Their yacht was professionally modified. Whether it was speed or flexibility, it was higher than Xiaochen's. If they really competed, he and Li Shanning attacked Xiaochen from the front and back. No matter how good Xiaochen was, he could not escape. The yacht's performance was there. You could not surpass it no matter what. Tuck tuck tuck. Lin Chao swung the tail and changed the direction of the yacht. He rushed toward Xiaochen again. Xiaochen still avoided it easily. At this moment, Lin Chao was really angry. He no longer played with Xiaochen. He crashed toward Xiaochen horizontally. Xiaochen could easily avoid it, but if he chased from behind vertically, it would be difficult for Xiaochen to avoid it. You really have some skills? Li Shanning also started the yacht at this time and chased after Xiaochen. Seeing this situation, Xiaochen immediately cried out inwardly. When he was racing, his car was professionally modified. It was not a problem for him to win against Li Shantao. However, in the sea, this fishing boat was not as nimble. Its speed was also slow. He could barely avoid a person chasing after him, but if two people attacked at the same time, he would not be able to handle it. It was not realistic to simply rely on technology to avoid because the opponent's technology was not bad. The yacht was obviously several times better than Xiao Chen's fishing boat. What should I do? Xiao Chen's mind raced. Previously, he was thinking that Chao Yuliang had done something to the yacht, but he didn't expect that he would get two people to attack him. Chapter 202. This is Xiao Chen, a descendant of the Xiao family in Songning. I am Chen Jinpeng, a descendant of the Chen family in Songning. How dare you all be so arrogant here? Chen Jinpeng must reveal his identity at the right time so that it would seem that he didn't know these people, and it was also to help Xiao Chen. Otherwise, he wouldn't be the only one here. Shen Jingxian was also watching. If Shen Jingxian went back and talked nonsense, then Chen Jinpeng would be in trouble. But now, it wasn't that Chen Jinpeng didn't care, but he did care. As for whether the other party believed it or not, it wasn't something that Chen Jinpeng could control. It had to be said that at the critical moment, Chen Jinpeng was still very cunning. Even he himself admired his wit a little. Songning Xiao family? Chen family? I haven't heard of it. Lao Er, have you heard of it? Li Shanying turned to look at Lin Chao. No, who knows what kind of small family in a bumpkin place. It has nothing to do with our Golden Bell sect. Lin Chao said. Golden Bell sect? Xiao Chen was slightly stunned. What kind of place is that? It sounds like a sect. Could it be that these two people have some kind of background? However, Xiao Chen didn't quite believe it. Could Chao Yuliang invite people with some kind of background? I don't care if you are from the Golden Bell sect or the Silver Bell sect. I am a martial artist at the peak of the second stage of inner force. I order you to stop attacking Boss Xiao Chen immediately. Otherwise, I won't be polite. Chen Jinpeng shouted. Idiot! Lin Chao scolded disdainfully and continued to charge at Xiao Chen. Li Shanying also came to help. The two people didn't seem to care about the identity of the Xiao family and the Chen family at all. What should we do, Jingxian? These two aren't afraid, but they seem to be fighting with Boss Xiao Chen. Chen Jinpeng said to Shen Jingxian with a bitter face in order to make it more realistic. Little did he know that he was too clever for his own good. Shen Jingxian knew that Chen Jinpeng plotted to kill Xiao Chen last time, so he should be happy that these people targeted Xiao Chen. How could he still have this expression? Therefore, Shen Jingxian had some doubts about the purpose of these two people. Could it be that they were also invited by Chao Yuliang and Chen Jinpeng? However, even if Shen Jingxian guessed, she didn't have any evidence. At this moment, she couldn't help Xiao Chen. She could only worry secretly. She took out her phone and wanted to inform Cheng Menjing to send someone over. However, she found that there was no signal at all. It was a blind spot. Shark. Xiao Chen had been looking for the shark for a long time, but the shark didn't appear. He didn't expect that the shark would appear by itself. However, it was hard to say if the shark really appeared on its own or if the two of them had brought it here. It was obvious that the two of them wanted to overturn his boat and make him fall into the sea. Since the shark had coincidentally appeared, Xiao Chen could not help but be suspicious. Elder Heaven Ancestor, what should I do now? Xiao Chen asked in a hurry. He had never encountered this kind of situation before. This was different from the fight on the land. If he was not careful, he would fall into the sea. What should I do? What else can I do? Fall into the sea and kill the shark, then swim back. Elder Heaven Ancestor said indifferently. Shark? Kill it? Xiao Chen was slightly dazed. With your strength at the peak of level 4 of Qi refining stage, you still can't kill a shark. You are too weak. Elder Heaven Ancestor said. How can I kill it? Even a level 5 inner strength martial artist might not be able to kill it, right? Xiaochen smiled bitterly. I can't affect the will of a high-level martial artist, but isn't it easy to affect a shark with no IQ? Elder Heaven Ancestor said indifferently, if I make it motionless, can you kill it? This. I can definitely. Xiaochen was a bit speechless. Don't mention a shark, even if there was a more ferocious beast there and made it motionless, Xiaochen would still be able to kill it easily. At most, he would just have to hit it a few more times. Then that's it. Elder Heaven Ancestor said, what are you worried about? I'm worried. I might not be able to swim. Xiaochen said. You can hold your breath for an hour and you won't die. After you improved your 6 senses in level 2 of Qi refining stage, you can hold your breath for an hour. Elder Heaven Ancestor said with some disappointment, besides, sharks have low IQ. Are you also low IQ? What is your yuan Qi used for? Don't you know that it can be converted into oxygen? Yes, it can be converted. Xiaochen was shocked, but he smiled bitterly, I've only been cultivating for less than a month. Give me some time to adapt. So, you might as well kill that Chen brat by throwing him into the sea. Elder Heaven Ancestor said, his brother died in a car accident. I think it's a good idea to let him die in a boat accident. Xiaochen didn't expect Elder Heaven Ancestor to be so black-bellied. In fact, he didn't know that Elder Heaven Ancestor was also a ruthless person who killed people without blinking an eye. However, Elder Heaven Ancestor's suggestion was good, but Xiaochen was a bit worried. What about Shen Jingxian? Isn't that your goddess? Don't say she isn't, I can read your memory. Elder Heaven Ancestor directly blocked Xiaochen's possibility of replying, don't you know how to be a hero and save the damsel in distress? Then take her to a small island and take her down. That Chen brat wore a green hat before he died, so he won't have to worry about not having a green hat anymore. Pfft. Xiaochen realized that Elder Heaven Ancestor was quite sarcastic. Of course, although Xiaochen wasn't as wretched as Elder Heaven Ancestor, he didn't plan to let Chen Jinpeng go. He couldn't hold on for long. Although he dodged here and there with his powerful boat skills, Xiaochen knew that he couldn't hold on for long. This wasn't something that could be done with human strength. Although he could set up illusions, the location of the illusions was fixed. When the motorboat sailed past the location of the illusions, there wouldn't be any more illusions. Xiaochen couldn't keep setting them up. It wouldn't take long for his vitality to be exhausted. The sea was completely different from land. Even if they rushed into the illusions, they would at most cause a temporary loss, but there wouldn't be any danger to their lives. Damn! There's a shark! Chen Jinpeng didn't expect that there would really be a shark in the sea, and he was shocked. He was simply here to join in the fun. At this time, Li Shaoning and Lin Chao were besieging Xiaochen. If he went to catch the shark now, it would be equivalent to looking for death. Li Shaoning and Lin Chao didn't care about Chen Jinpeng's words, but Xiaochen heard it. A sneer flashed across the corner of his mouth. He had already made a plan in his heart. The shark was obviously very hungry. It couldn't get out of this area of the sea, and it couldn't find the entrance that it came from. However, there wasn't anything that it could eat in the coastal waters, so it was very hungry. Coincidentally, this shark belonged to the group that had some intelligence. When it saw the small boat drifting on the sea, it swam towards the small boat, wanting to overturn the yacht. Chen Jinpeng was shocked. The other people's yachts were moving, but only his was parked in the middle of the sea, so it naturally became the shark's first target. Therefore, Chen Jinpeng quickly started the yacht. He didn't dare to go head-on with the shark, but he didn't dare to drive too fast. He could only move slowly to avoid the shark. He was afraid that if he drove too fast, it would affect Lin Chao and Li Shanying's plan to collide with Xiaochen. Jinpeng, tell them that the shark is here, so stop fooling around. Otherwise, if the boat overturns, no one will benefit. Shen Jingxian said to Chen Jinpeng. Ah. Oh. Chen Jinpeng responded, but he didn't have time to care about Xiao Chen's matter. He was afraid that he would be knocked into the sea, and that would be f***ked. However, what made Chen Jinpeng a little surprised was that Xiao Chen suddenly changed the direction of the fishing boat and rushed towards Chen Jinpeng. Chen Jinpeng was shocked and quickly dodged. He cursed in his heart. This Xiao Chen, he doesn't want to live anymore, but he still wants to implicate me. What af** king d** ck. Just as he was about to dodge, he suddenly realized that the direction he was dodging was the direction of the shark that was about to attack him. This made him almost pee in his pants. Just as Chen Jinpeng didn't know what to do, Xiao Chen's yacht suddenly changed direction and went around him. It was just like drifting in a race car. It was very rare to be able to do this. After all, only professional rowers could do it. In the water, it wasn't like on land. The yacht was harder to control than a car. Phew! Chen Jinpeng breathed a sigh of relief. It seemed that with the goddess Shen Jingxian on the boat, Xiao Chen still had to be careful. However, just as Chen Jinpeng breathed a sigh of relief, he was screwed. Lin Chao was a professional rower, so Xiao Chen went around Chen Jinpeng, and he also went around Chen Jinpeng. However, Li Shanying, who was running neck and neck with him, wasn't so lucky. On his left was Lin Chao. He subconsciously wanted to dodge to the right, but he found that there was a shark in front of him. He quickly turned the rudder, but it was too late. So, with a loud bang, his yacht directly hit Chen Jinpeng's fishing boat. Li Shanying's yacht was specially modified with the purpose of killing Xiao Chen. As a result, it hit Chen Jinpeng's side. Chen Jinpeng's fishing boat was the same as Xiao Chen's. It wasn't very sturdy, so the result was a tragedy. Chen Jinpeng's yacht was directly hit and sent flying. After it fell into the water, it flipped over. At the same time, Xiao Chen slowed down to avoid Chen Jinpeng. So, after Lin Chao caught up, he directly hit Xiao Chen's yacht and sent it flying. Splash! Xiao Chen also fell into the water. Ah! Shen Jingxian screamed. She didn't know how to swim, so she struggled a few times in the sea and was about to sink. Although Chen Jinpeng knew how to swim, he panicked at this time. When he remembered to save Shen Jingxian, the two of them were already very far away. So, he watched as Shen Jingxian sank into the sea. As for Xiao Chen, although he could float to the surface of the water, he didn't do so. If he fell into the water, he would directly sink. He was afraid that if he surfaced, Lin Chao would hit him again. He would be depressed. When flesh and blood collided with a yacht, it was inevitable that he would be injured. Even if Xiao Chen could recover quickly, he was in the sea. If Chen Jinpeng took the opportunity to shoot him with a fishing rod, it would be a tragedy. If Chen Jinpeng died, then so be it. It had nothing to do with Xiao Chen, but Shen Jingxian was innocent. Thinking of this, Xiao Chen quickly swam in the direction where Shen Jingxian fell into the water. Chapter 203. Save me, there are sharks. There are sharks. Although Chen Jinpeng could swim, the key problem was that there were sharks in the sea. Li Shanying frowned. To be honest, if Chen Jinpeng died together, it didn't have much to do with him. But when he thought of Chao Yuliang, he also drove the motorboat to Chen Jinpeng's side and said, "Climb up yourself." Okay. Chen Jinpeng was a martial artist at the peak of the second stage of internal force. It was easy for him to jump onto the yacht from the sea. He quickly got on the boat and shivered. He suddenly thought of Shen Jingxian and quickly said, "Young Master Li, save Jingxian. She is my fiancée. Save her." Looking at her appearance just now, she obviously doesn't know, right? What if we save her? We obviously wanted to kill you, and now we save you. Do you think she won't suspect anything? Li Shanning said faintly. Ah. Chen Jinpeng's expression was stagnant. Li Shanning was telling the truth, but he couldn't bear to part with Shen Jingxian. Shen Jingxian was Xiao Chen's goddess. Wasn't she his goddess? Chen Jinpeng now had a beauty in his arms. He didn't want to die without even holding her hand. I promise that she won't say anything. Save her. Young Master Li. Chen Jinpeng quickly promised. It's too late. She has sunk to the bottom. There are sharks nearby. Who dares to save her? Do you go alone? Li Shanning asked. This. Chen Jinpeng was stunned. Yes, Shen Jingxian has sunk. How can I save her? Unless I go into the water, but there are sharks in the water. Who dares to go down? Thinking of this, Chen Jinpeng was helpless, but he could only give up. Well, let's go. Get out of here, there are sharks. Actually, even without Chen Jinpeng's reminder, Li Shanning and Lin Chao had already decided to return. Although their clothes were sturdy and had been professionally modified, it was still unknown who would emerge victorious in a head-on clash with a shark. Therefore, the two yachts disappeared without a trace. Under the water, Xiao Chen opened his eyes. His keen sixth senses did not affect his eyesight underwater at all. He could easily see everything around him clearly underwater. This was the super ability brought about by the second layer of the cultivator stage. He saw Shen Jingxian not far away and found that Shen Jingxuan's face had turned red. He was shocked and quickly swam over. When Xiao Chen swam to Shen Jingxuan's side, Shen Jingxian could not hold on anymore. Fortunately, she had trained since she was young. Although she could not swim, she could at least hold her breath. She thought that Chen Jinpeng would come to save her because she had specially looked at Chen Jinpeng's information before. This fiancé of hers was once an elite member of the school's swimming team. It should not be a problem for him to save her. However, after waiting for a long time until she was about to see stars, Chen Jinpeng did not come. Shen Jingxian also understood that Chen Jinpeng had probably given up on her. Of course, other than being a little disappointed, Shen Jingxian did not feel much sadness. She did not have any feelings for Chen Jinpeng, so she did not have the hatred of being abandoned by her lover. She was just laughing at herself. This was the marriage between aristocratic families. In the face of disaster, they would go their separate ways. Am I going to die? Shen Jingxuan's mind began to become blank because of the lack of oxygen. She had some regrets. In her short life, every day she lived under the arrangement of her family. She never had anything for herself. Suddenly, Shen Jingxian thought of the first time she lied. That was because of Xiao Chen. That night, Xiao Chen sent her home. Thinking of Xiao Chen, Shen Jingxuan's heart suddenly had a touch of the same feeling. This person is really unfathomable. Shen Jingxian had always thought that Xiao Chen was a playboy like Chao Yuliang. But looking at it now, it did not seem to be the case. He seemed to be obsessed with her to the point of being unable to extricate himself, but he seemed to be able to ignore her to the point of turning a blind eye. What a strange person. Shen Jingxian thought that if she could live again, she would definitely investigate Xiao Chen. What a strange guy. However, the moment she fell into the water, she saw that Xiao Chen was also knocked into the water. Perhaps, she could still meet him in the underworld? It was not lonely on the bridge of helplessness. Shen Jingxian was thinking about some messy things in a daze when a pair of strong big hands suddenly hugged her. Then, she bumped into a not considered wide but very strong arm. Shen Jingxian instinctively leaned over, and her four limbs suddenly grabbed Xiao Chen. In fact, this was the survival will of the person who fell into the water. At this time, if there was something that could be grabbed, she would definitely grab it. Many people were like this. Why did many people who were good at swimming die when they tried to save people who fell into the water? It was because the person who fell into the water directly grabbed him and wrapped him tightly like an octopus, making people who could swim unable to use their skills. Xiao Chen was fine. He could hold his breath underwater, but Shen Jingxian couldn't. Seeing that Shen Jingxian was about to die, Xiao Chen gritted his teeth and didn't care so much. He quickly used his vital energy to transform a mouthful of air, and then directly kissed Shen Jingxuan's lips. In a daze, Shen Jingxian felt as if someone was kissing her. She subconsciously wanted to break free, but then a mouthful of air was sent into her mouth, which made Shen Jingxian suck greedily. The will to survive was greater than everything. This was all out of instinct, but when a few breaths entered her lungs, the stuffiness in her chest suddenly decreased a lot. After a few more breaths, Shen Jingxian gradually returned to normal. His brain was also starting to shine brightly. Shen Jingxian opened her eyes subconsciously. Although it was very uncomfortable to open her eyes underwater, she could only open them and close them immediately. But she still saw who the person in front of her was. Xiao Chen. It was actually Xiao Chen. The shock in Shen Jingxuan's heart was more than the surprise of being saved. She never thought that the person who came to save her was actually Xiao Chen. Moreover, why was there so much air in Xiao Chen's mouth? However, Shen Jingxian wanted to ask, but she didn't dare to speak. Firstly, her mouth was blocked by Xiao Chen's. Secondly, how could she speak underwater? Wouldn't she choke on water? So she could only blink her eyes in confusion. If it was in the past, when Xiao Chen kissed the goddess of his dreams, Shen Jingxian, he would definitely be very excited. But now, Xiao Chen didn't have the mood to fantasize, because the shark was here. The shark was shocked when Li Shanying and Lin Chao's yacht collided with it. The loud noise and the waves made it temporarily hide far away, so it didn't see Xiao Chen and Shen Jingxian. But now that the sea had calmed down, the shark discovered Shen Jingxian and Xiao Chen. Xiao Chen quickly hugged Shen Jingxian and changed her position so that her back wasn't facing the shark. However, Shen Jingxuan's whole body was hanging on Xiao Chen's body. When Xiao Chen reached out, he inevitably held onto Shen Jingxuan's buttocks. Shen Jingxian suddenly blushed. She opened her eyes to see what Xiao Chen wanted to do, but when she opened her eyes, she saw the shark and was shocked. And she also understood that Xiao Chen didn't want to take advantage of her, but something more dangerous was coming. Xiao Chen transferred air to Shen Jingxian and said to Elder Heaven Ancestor, "Elder Heaven Ancestor, help me control the shark. I'll kill it." "Oh, okay," Elder Heaven Ancestor said calmly. Sure enough, the shark's eyes were dazed, and it foolishly stopped moving, motionless. Xiao Chen hugged Shen Jingxian with one hand and swung his other hand into a fist. He directly exploded with the strength of the peak of Qi refining stage level 4, which was equivalent to a level 5 inner force martial artist. Boom! The fist hit the shark's face. However, with Xiao Chen's current strength, it was impossible to kill the shark with one punch, so he simply punched continuously. He didn't believe that he couldn't kill the shark. Xiao Chen's explosive strength was equivalent to the strength of a level 5 inner force martial artist, and it immediately attracted Shen Jingxuan's attention. Although she wasn't even a level 1 inner force martial artist, she was like Qing Menjing. Since young, she had heard about the martial artists' levels. When she realized that this was the explosive strength of Xiao Chen, she was a little surprised. Xiao Chen. Wasn't he a waste? Wasn't he unable to cultivate inner force? How could he have such high strength? Among the younger generation of Songning City, he should be the top existence, right? Such a young genius, did the Qing family not want him? Even the Xiao family was chased out by him. Shen Jingxian felt that it was really unbelievable. Wasn't this too amazing? Moreover, the shark just let Xiao Chen hit it without moving? This kind of creature, which was like the king of the sea, was actually bullied by Xiao Chen. How was this possible? This was already beyond Shen Jingxuan's understanding. Could it be? The shark was stunned by Xiaochen, so it didn't move? Thinking about it, this was the only possibility. However, it was Shen Jingxuan's first time hearing and seeing a martial artist who dared to fight a shark with his bare hands underwater. Alright, Xiaochen, the shark is already dead, stop fighting. Elder Heaven Ancestor reminded. Oh? How did you know? Xiaochen was afraid that the shark was not dead. I can't feel it anymore, and I can't control its will. If it's not dead, then what is? Elder Heaven Ancestor asked, alright, let's go, you have consumed a lot of your true qi. If you want to die here, then I don't care. Ah. Xiaochen was suddenly shocked, and then remembered that before Shen Jingxian had transformed the air, and then he struggled to beat the shark, and Elder Heaven Ancestor had used up a lot of his true qi to control the shark. There really wasn't much left. Thinking of this, Xiaochen quickly grabbed the shark with one hand, and the other hand carried Shen Jingxian, ready to leave here quickly. Where are you going? Elder Heaven Ancestor suddenly asked. Going back to the shore, of course. Xiaochen said. You can't go back, it's too far. There is an isolated island in front of you on the left. I suggest you go there first to rest and replenish your true qi, otherwise, you will definitely die in the sea. Elder Heaven Ancestor immediately reminded Xiaochen. Chapter 204. Xiaochen was stunned. I can't go back. How far is that isolated island? Not far. You just have to swim 45 degrees to the left and you will reach it. Elder Heaven Ancestor said. How do you know? Xiaochen didn't see any isolated island when he was driving the yacht. Oh, I just used your divine sense and spiritual power to explore it. I used up all your primordial qi. Otherwise, you could still swim back. Elder Heaven Ancestor said. Pfft. Xiaochen was speechless. Did the Elder Heaven Ancestor do it on purpose? If there was no isolated island, wouldn't I be dead? You won't die. You can practice underwater, but your goddess is in danger. Elder Heaven Ancestor said, of course, she has nothing to do with me. Xiaochen smiled bitterly. Then, he started to swim to the right at a 45-degree angle. Since it was already like this, what else could he say? It was the first time that Shen Jingxian was so intimate with a boy. Not only was she being hugged, but the key was, their lips were tightly pressed together. Although it was similar to artificial respiration, and it was a life-saving move, Shen Jingxian still had a strange feeling in her heart. She couldn't see Xiaochen clearly. She couldn't believe that the person in front of her was Xiaochen. Could it be that Xiaochen had always been so powerful, and he was just hiding his strength before? Other than that, Shen Jingxian really couldn't think of any other possibilities. Xiaochen's level 5 inner force couldn't be practiced overnight. He must have been through strict training and hard work since he was young. However, the Xiao clan shouldn't be in the dark about this. What was going on? Could it be that the Qing family and the Xiao family actually knew, but they saw that Xiaochen and Cheng Menjing didn't see eye to eye, so they deliberately played such a show? The purpose was to let Xiaochen, the servant, have more contact with Cheng Menjing and cultivate feelings? Then, was he the culprit behind all of this? If Xiaochen didn't like me, he wouldn't have done this. He would have been with Cheng Menjing. But I am so intimate with him now. In the future, how can I face Cheng Menjing? Xiaochen estimated that Chen Jinpeng and the others would not come back, so he popped his head out of the sea. To be honest, the continuous air conversion for Shen Jingxian consumed a lot of yuan qi. Xiaochen didn't want to exhaust his yuan qi before he swam to the island. Elder Heaven Ancestor could ignore Shen Jingxian, but Xiaochen couldn't. Xiaochen was the first girl who made him very interested and fascinated. Although Xiaochen never thought that he could get intimate with her one day, he did it now. However, Xiaochen wouldn't put both of them in danger because of greed. In the face of life and death, he was still a reasonable person. Xiaochen floated to the surface of the water and observed his surroundings. He heaved a sigh of relief when he discovered that there was indeed no danger. However, as for the fishing boat, it had disappeared without a trace. Even if it didn't disappear, it couldn't be used anymore. It had been smashed. After the investigation, Xiaochen suddenly remembered that his lips were still touching Shen Jingxuan's lips. He awkwardly leaned back and separated from Shen Jingxian. Shen Jingxian was shocked. She suddenly remembered that they were already out of the water, but she didn't take the initiative to move her lips away. This made her blush, and she was very embarrassed. Just now when they were underwater, she had no choice. She needed air to breathe. But now that they were out of the sea, she was still like this. Do I like this feeling? It seems. The feeling just now was really good. Shen Jingxian shook her head. What am I thinking about? I have already let Cheng Menjing down. Why am I still thinking about these things? Shen Jingxian firmly believed that Xiaochen was driven out of the family to become Cheng Menjing's servant. It was a trap set up by the Xiao family and the Cheng family. The purpose was to make it easier for Xiaochen to get close to Cheng Menjing. Because there was a very popular TV series, Campus Belle's Bodyguard, recently, there was a similar plot, so Shen Jingxian naturally thought of this. However, she neglected that this was her first kiss, and it was gone just like that. I'm sorry, Goddess Jingxian. I had no choice just now. I was also trying to save you. Xiaochen saw that Shen Jingxuan's eyes were a little dazed. He thought that she was going to cry or go crazy, so he quickly explained. Oh. Shen Jingxian listened to Xiaochen's explanation, but she didn't blame him. She just looked at him with some reproach. I know, but it's not good for us to do this. We are going to die. What's there to not be good for? Xiaochen grinned, and Chen Jinpeng was willing to be a cuckold. That was what he said himself. Ugh. I hate him. I didn't marry him. Shen Jingxian shook her head. Why is there so much air in your mouth? Oh, I have practiced. Xiaochen said, you don't know how much pressure it is to be a useless young master. I have been worried about being assassinated since I was young, so I have to practice all kinds of survival skills. If a martial artist with level 5 inner energy is useless, then can there still be geniuses in the aristocratic families in Songning City? Shen Jingxian flattened her mouth. You are really good at lying. Sweat. Xiaochen suddenly remembered that Shen Jingxian saw him fighting the shark in the water previously. He couldn't help but sigh. Zhu Yingxiong knew his strength, and Xiaochen trusted him very much. Other than that, no one knew that Xiaochen had such strength and wasn't a useless person. Shen Jingxian was the second. This made Xiaochen a little embarrassed. To be honest, his relationship with Shen Jingxian wasn't particularly close. At that time, he pursued Shen Jingxian all day. Perhaps Shen Jingxian was annoyed enough. Therefore, the relationship between the two was only passable. This was after he sent Shen Jingxian home. If it were another person, Xiaochen might have killed them, but he really couldn't do it to Shen Jingxian. You will keep it a secret for me, right? Not knowing why, Shen Jingxian heard Xiaochen's somewhat helpless tone. Her heart shivered. If not, will you kill me to keep it a secret? Xiaochen took a deep breath and looked at Shen Jingxian. A trace of helplessness flashed in his eyes. No, you are the girl I used to like very, very much. Xiaochen's words instantly touched the softness in Shen Jingxuan's heart. She fell into Xiaochen's arms powerlessly and asked, then, what about now? There is no now. Xiaochen sighed and said faintly, this assumption is a bit far. It was impossible for me and you before. Now, it is even more impossible, so I'd better be realistic. Shen Jingxian didn't know why, but after hearing Xiaochen's words, she suddenly felt very uncomfortable in her heart. She had an urge to cry. Not knowing where the courage came from, Shen Jingshuan's body suddenly sank down. Previously, Xiaochen had been holding Shen Jingshuan's buttocks, but that was because they were swimming rapidly in the water. He was afraid that Shen Jingxian would fall off him, but now that they were floating on the water, it was safe. Xiaochen couldn't keep taking advantage of Shen Jingxian, not to mention that Shen Jingxian was still hanging on him, so he didn't pay attention. However, now that Shen Jingxian let go, she fell down. Xiaochen was shocked and quickly sank into the water again. Because he was still holding a shark, Xiaochen's speed was not slow, but he still fell more than 10 meters before he caught up with Shen Jingxian and grabbed her. Shen Jingshuan's face at the moment was also a bit ugly, as if she was out of oxygen. As soon as Xiaochen grabbed her, Shen Jingshuan's body naturally leaned over and fell into Xiaochen's arms. Her lips also naturally stuck to Xiaochen's mouth. Xiaochen was a little dumbfounded. What is this situation? Shen Jingxian was fine. How did she sink into the sea again? Could it be that she grabbed me too hard before, and when she floated to the water, she lost her strength and fell down again? Thinking about it, there was only this possibility. Other than that, Xiaochen couldn't think of anything else. Xiaochen quickly began to use his primordial qi to transform the air into Shen Jingshuan's mouth. Shen Jingshuan's face slowly improved. She opened her eyes and looked at Xiaochen. Her eyes were a little blurred. At this moment, Shen Jingshuan's heart was beating fast. Although Xiaochen also felt it, he thought that Shen Jingshuan's heart was beating faster because she fell into the sea. In fact, Shen Jingshuan's heart was really confused. Is this the feeling of liking someone? Shen Jingxian didn't know. Since she was born, she had always been a good girl. Her heart was as still as water. She had never liked any boy, nor had she paid attention to anyone. She was also resigned to her family's engagement because she didn't know what love was, and she didn't have anyone she liked. Therefore, she naturally wouldn't fight against the arrangement of her family. But now, Shen Jingxian suddenly found that she fell in love with Xiaochen's embrace. Sometimes, in just an instant, one's impression and perception of a person could undergo earth-shattering changes. In the past, whatever Xiaochen said, although she would listen patiently and smile at him, she had never taken it to heart. Now, a casual sentence from Xiaochen could make her heart ache, and make a move that made her feel very irrational and surprised. However, after Shen Jingshuan's impulse, she also regained her rationality. In her eyes, Xiaochen and Cheng Menjing were a couple, and Cheng Menjing was her best friend. How could she do something that would let Cheng Menjing down? When Xiaochen brought Shen Jingxian to the surface of the water, Shen Jingshuan's mood also recovered its previous calmness. Although she was a little reluctant in her heart, she still pretended that nothing had happened. She shook her head, leaned back, and separated from Xiaochen's lips. Chapter 205. Jingxian, what's wrong with you? Xiaochen saw that Shen Jingxian had returned to normal and asked quickly. Nothing. My legs suddenly cramped just now, and I was a little weak. I didn't hold you for a while, and I fell. Shen Jingxian smiled slightly and shook her head. She returned to her usual sunny self. You didn't hold me tightly. I'm going to die. When I go back, I will complain to your hostess that you murdered her best friend. Sweat, you are dead. How can I complain? Xiaochen couldn't help but smile bitterly after listening. Didn't I save you? Hold me. I didn't say that you took advantage of me. I know you did it to save me. I'm not that unreasonable. Shen Jingxian said to Xiaochen, I won't talk nonsense to Cheng Menjing, including everything about you. Is Shen Jingshuan's words a hint? She wants to tell Xiaochen that she won't say anything about him. Chen Jinpeng's matter, what do you think? Xiaochen nodded, held Shen Jingshuan's buttocks with his hand, and swam forward with her. Chen Jinpeng? Shen Jingxian was slightly stunned. Don't tell me that you didn't see that he was the one who found those two people. Xiaofan said. He also couldn't bear to see his former goddess marry a scumbag. Especially after he had intimate contact with Shen Jingxian, Xiaofan was even more unwilling. This kind of mentality was very strange. It seemed that Shen Jingxian had become Xiaofan's private property. Shen Jingxian responded, I know, but what can I do? I don't have any evidence. I can only find a chance to tell my family to cancel this marriage. Xiaofan nodded. Shen Jingxian was right. She had no evidence. Moreover, Xiaofan didn't intend to fall out with Chao Yuliang and Shen Jinpeng for the time being. Once they fell out, Chao Yuliang would be desperate. If the masters of the Chao family jumped out to kill him, then Xiaofan would be a fool. He was still very rational. He didn't do anything impulsive because of the skyrocketing strength. Now, Chao Yuliang was maintaining a balance because of the Jin family. But once Chao Yuliang knew that he had suspected him, then Chao Yuliang would definitely take the risk. So from this point of view, Shen Jingxuan's approach was right. Then don't mention this matter again. However, the matter of breaking off the engagement can be postponed. Or, you can help me be an undercover and see how Shen Jinpeng and Chao Yuliang will deal with me next time. Xiaofan thought about it and suggested. Are you willing to do that? Shen Jingxian blurted out subconsciously. Xiaofan was stunned. I mean, am I not your goddess? Will you be happy when you see me with someone else? Shen Jingxian explained euphemistically. My life is gone. Why should I be happy? Xiaofan smiled self-deprecatingly and said, moreover, you and Shen Jinpeng are together. He doesn't dare to do anything to you, but it's nothing. I just said it casually. You should break off the engagement first. It will take some time to break off the engagement. It can't be broken off immediately. Shen Jingxian listened to Xiaofan, and her heart suddenly felt much better. After we go back, pretend that nothing happened. If they ask how we were rescued, just say that a sea patrol ship passed by here. Xiaofan said. Oh. Shen Jingxian responded. She didn't seem to be particularly happy. You can rest assured that I won't say anything to get you into trouble. Xiaofan was slightly stunned. What he meant was that he would not say anything about him profaning Shen Jingxian. After all, if something happened between him and a goddess like Shen Jingxian, it would be quite a hot topic. If he bragged about it to other childs, others would definitely be jealous and hate him. Xiaofan was not that kind of person. Although he used to pretend to be such a person, he had changed now. He disguised himself as Jin Beibei. It was more practical to cheat money out of others. However, what Xiaofan didn't expect was that Shen Jingxian actually said that she wouldn't say anything because she was afraid of getting him into trouble. But what trouble could he get into? Xiaofan thought that Shen Jingxian just said it casually, so he didn't pay much attention to it. Not long after, Xiaofan saw a deserted island not far away. It was right in front of him, but in reality, it was just an illusion. There was still some distance between them. Weren't you swimming toward the shore? Shen Jingxian also saw the island and was a little surprised. She had always thought that Xiaofan was swimming toward the shore. After all, it was easy to get lost in the sea. Shen Jingxian had never learned how to survive in the wild, so she naturally couldn't judge the direction. How the hell would I know where the shore is? Xiaofan naturally wouldn't admit that he knew about the deserted island. Firstly, Shen Jingxian would ask him how he knew. Secondly, it wouldn't be good if Shen Jingxian thought that he deliberately came to the deserted island with ulterior motives. After all, it was hard for Xiaofan to explain the primordial qi and the elder heaven ancestor. Don't curse. Shen Jingxian said to Xiaofan, then we are lucky to encounter a small island. Otherwise, I don't know how long we would have to drift. Yeah, no matter what, let's have a foothold first, and then think of other ways. Xiaochen nodded and accelerated his swimming speed. Finally, after half an hour, Xiaochen approached the shore of the island. However, the island on this side was surrounded by rocks. There was no beach. It was easy for Xiaochen to go ashore, but it was difficult for Shen Jingxian. "Can you go up?" asked Xiaochen. "I'll try." Shen Jingxian hesitated, but she tried to touch the rocky cliff on the shore with her hand. It was very smooth from the impact of the sea, so there was no point of force at all. "No, I can't hold it." "Why don't you go up first, and then pull me up? I can still hold on for a while. I still have a shark in my hand." Xiaochen couldn't help but smile bitterly. He let Shen Jingxian go ashore first, and then he could drag the shark up. If Shen Jingxian stayed below, who would help him look after the shark? Shark? This made Shen Jingxian a little stunned. She didn't notice that there was a shark at all. Her attention was on Xiaochen. As a result, when she arrived at the island, she turned around and saw that there was a shark in Xiaochen's hand. She was stunned. You have been swimming with this shark? Oh my God." Shen Jingxuan's eyes widened. "Xiaochen, how many people have you deceived before? You are not an ordinary stage 5 inner force martial artist." Shen Jingxian was right. There was only inner force in the martial artist's body. There was no such thing as true energy or vitality that could be stimulated for a long time. Although the explosive power of the inner force was strong, it couldn't last for so long. Xiaochen, unless it was a martial artist of a higher level, the higher the martial artist's level, the stronger the endurance. And there is a little difference. It's good that you know. Xiaochen said, "Let's not study my problem first. Let's see how you go up first. Why don't you carry me up?" Shen Jingxian thought about it and said, "That's the only way." "Don't say that I'm taking advantage of you," said Xiaochen. "Didn't you take advantage of me along the way?" Shen Jingxian looked at Xiaochen with a reproachful look. "Well, it's a critical moment. I understand." The first half of Shen Jingxuan's sentence made Xiaochen's heart tremble slightly. He thought that Shen Jingxian was a little interested in him, but the latter half of the sentence was normal. Xiaochen didn't think much about it. He took a deep breath, held Shen Jingxuan's buttocks, and lifted her out of the sea. "You step on my shoulder. It's okay." "Okay." Shen Jingxian nodded. She was wearing a skirt. If she stepped on Xiaochen's shoulder, she would definitely be exposed. But thinking about it, the skirt often flipped up in the water. She would have been exposed long ago. Being lifted by Xiaochen, Shen Jingxian was surprised at Xiaochen's arm strength. She also had a strange feeling in her heart, which made her breathing slightly rapid. Shen Jingxian quickly calmed her mood, carefully stretched out her foot, and stepped on Xiaochen's shoulder. Her other foot also stepped on him. Shen Jingxian carefully stood on Xiaochen's shoulder and wanted to straighten up, but at this time, a wave hit. Shen Jingxian was unstable. Her feet slipped, and her body sank. She directly rode on Xiaochen's neck. Moreover, she and Xiaochen were facing each other. Xiaochen's back was against the reef of the island, and Shen Jingxian was facing the island. Therefore, Shen Jingxuan's skirt was directly buckled on Xiaochen's head, and her small abdomen was directly aimed at the side of Xiaochen's mouth. Shen Jingxian was dumbfounded. Xiaochen was also dumbfounded. Was this the legendary difficult ride, Yen Ai? Shen Jingxian subconsciously wanted to break free, but when she twisted her body, she rubbed against Xiaochen's mouth. A strange feeling made Shen Jingxuan's whole body feel like it was paralyzed, and she couldn't move. Although it was the salty taste of the sea that entered his mouth, Xiaochen's heart was extremely excited. F***ck, who would believe this if I told others? However, Xiaochen also knew that Shen Jingxian didn't mean it. It was completely accidental. If he took advantage of the situation to do something, Shen Jingxian might grit her teeth and admit it, but Xiao Chen wasn't such a shameless person. Especially Shen Jingxian, who used to be like a goddess in his heart. He could only look at her from afar and not play with her. Phew. Xiao Chen stretched out his hand and held Shen Jingxian again. He lifted her high and said, "Are you okay just now? Be more careful this time, okay?" Originally, Shen Jingxian was also quite embarrassed, but when she heard that there was nothing strange in Xiao Chen's words, she breathed a sigh of relief and said, "I'm sorry, I slipped. I didn't hit you, right?" "No," Xiao Chen said with a smile. Then, he added, "However, I don't mind doing it again." "You're so annoying." Shen Jingxuan's feet trembled. She almost did it again, but did she really want to do it again? The feeling of her heart racing just now made Shen Jingxian feel nostalgic. Chapter 206. However, Shen Jingxuan's reason told her that she couldn't do this. She felt that she must be out of her mind. How could she have such an unhealthy thought? Why with Xiao Chen? If Cheng Menjing knew about it, what would happen in the future? Could they still be best friends? Shen Jingxian was a little worried for a while. She had never had such a feeling for any boy. Her impression of Xiao Chen was not particularly good. Even if it changed, it didn't change much. However, what happened today had completely overturned Shen Jingxuan's understanding of Xiao Chen. She had never imagined that an ignorant and incompetent good-for-nothing hedonistic young master would have such a shocking side. She also never thought that she would be moved by him. This feeling was very strange. Shen Jingxian didn't know if she fell in love with Xiao Chen, but at least she was a little regretful. Why didn't she say yes to Xiao Chen when he pursued her? However, she just thought about it. At that time, Xiao Chen was also Cheng Menjing's fiancé. What was the matter if she got involved? Could she tell the Shen family that Cheng Menjing and the Cheng family were together with Xiao Chen? This kind of thing was not impossible at the level of aristocratic families, but the Xiao family in Songning was not qualified. The Shen family could marry any aristocratic family in Songning, which was already considered as marrying down. It was simply a fantasy to serve one husband together. Shen Jingxian shook her head. She gritted her teeth, held the edge of the reef with both hands, and got on the island. Although she had not yet set foot in the ranks of warriors, she was born in an aristocratic family. Women in aristocratic families generally receive training from warriors at a young age, but there was no requirement for strength. However, she was still better than ordinary people. The moment she jumped up, Shen Jingxian was exposed. Xiao Chen happened to raise his head to look at Shen Jingxian. He was also afraid that she would fall down again. Xiao Chen was ready to be taken advantage of again. However, he saw a beautiful spring. His thin underwear was soaked in seawater. Not only did it stick tightly to his body, but it also became vaguely transparent. Xiao Chen was a cultivator with a powerful six senses, so he could see as clearly as he could. Thus, Xiao Chen shamefully had another reaction. Flirting with his goddess had always been Xiao Chen's dream. But when this dream came true, Xiao Chen had a headache. How should he deal with his relationship with Shen Jingxian in the future? Will Shen Jingxian hate me even more after she calms down? Shen Jingxian climbed ashore and said to Xiao Chen, "All right, you should come up too. The seawater is too cold. I can't stand it." "Ah. I'll wait for a while." If Xiao Chen went up now and his body's reaction was seen by Shen Jingxian, it would be embarrassing. Wait for a while? Why? Give me your hand. I'll pull you up. The seawater is very cold. Shen Jingxian was a little confused. Don't catch a cold. What if you get sick on this deserted island? Xiao Chen couldn't express himself. Hurry up. Shen Jingxian reached out her hand. I'll come up myself. Xiaochen couldn't let the goddess wait for him. He grabbed the shark's tail with both hands and swung it ashore. The shark was thrown onto the island by him. Then, Xiaochen kicked off the water with both of his feet. He pushed against the cliff with both of his hands and flew up to the island. As a result, Xiaochen's adverse reaction was seen by Shen Jingxian. Shen Jingxian immediately understood why Xiaochen was so shy before. She couldn't help but blush. She couldn't help but feel a little happy in her heart. Xiaochen still likes me. Shen Jingxian didn't know why she was happy. If there was such a guy who acted like a hooligan in front of her in the past, she would have turned around and left. But when she saw Xiaochen, she was very concerned. Are you cold? The wind is strong here. Let's find a place to hide from the wind and dry our clothes. It's almost evening. Let's find a place to settle down first. I'll go get some firewood and food. Xiaochen said to Shen Jingxian. These were things that Shen Jingxian neglected, but Xiaochen didn't forget. This made Shen Jingxian suddenly have a very satisfying feeling of dependence. She felt that as long as she was with Xiaochen on this island, she wouldn't be afraid of anything. The deserted island wasn't very big. There were a few caves on the cliff, but some had been occupied by seabirds. Only one was slightly cleaner. Xiaochen walked in and checked. After he found that there was no danger, he let Shen Jingxian come in. Jingxian, wait for me here. I'll be back soon. Then I'll wait for you here. Shen Jingxian was really tired. She sat on the ground and hugged her legs. She looked at Xiaochen's side profile with the light of the setting sun. He was very determined and handsome. This was a very stylish guy. Of course, Shen Jingxian didn't notice this before. Sometimes, one's mentality would affect one's vision. One would like what they liked and dislike what they didn't like. At this moment, Shen Jingxian was like a primitive woman waiting for her husband to go hunting. She looked forward to it, missed it, and felt a little happy. Xiaochen nodded. He didn't notice Shen Jingxian's mood. He just wanted to get through this night and restore his strength. Tomorrow, he would take Shen Jingxian to swim back. The area of the island wasn't very big. Xiaochen walked around and found that there were only coconut trees and an unknown tree. However, the other tree didn't have any fruit. Xiaochen didn't care what tree it was. Xiaochen first climbed up the coconut tree and plucked some coconuts. Then, he picked up some withered branches that had fallen from the trees nearby. After that, he returned to the cave and handed the coconuts to Shen Jingxian. After hesitating for a moment, Xiaochen still injected a trace of yuan qi into the coconut. After Xiaochen injected yuan qi into the food, it was not only delicious, but it also had a trace of immortal fruit effect. Even if Shen Jingxian didn't cultivate, it was still good for replenishing her strength. Jingxian, you eat a little first. I'll start a fire. Dry your clothes. Xiaochen said. I'll go to the beach to deal with the shark meat. I'll roast a few pieces for you to eat to replenish your strength. There's no need to trouble yourself, right? Shen Jingxian took the coconut. She didn't eat it immediately. Instead, she said to Xiaochen, it's very late. I can't eat too much. However, as soon as she finished speaking, Shen Jingxian's stomach began to growl. After being tossed around for almost a day, Shen Jingxian only had breakfast in the morning. It was almost dark. Hee, I'll be back soon. Xiaochen smiled and started a fire. Drilling wood to start a fire was too weak. Xiaochen didn't have the patience to do that. He took advantage of Shen Jingxian's inattention and used yuan qi to turn it into a flame and ignited the branches. How did you light the fire? Shen Jingxian was just wandering around and saw that Xiaochen had already lit the fire. Lighter. Xiaochen said casually and then stood up. He was afraid that Shen Jingxian would ask more, so he turned around and left the cave. I'm going to deal with the shark. It was the first time for Xiaochen to deal with a shark, but Xiaochen didn't study it much. Near the reef by the sea, he punched it and smashed the rock into a few pieces. He randomly found a sharp one and began to cut off a piece of meat from the shark. Then, he returned to the cave again. Shen Jingxian sat beside the fire, but she didn't eat the coconut. When she saw Xiaochen coming back, she was immediately happy. Xiaochen, you're back. Xiaochen nodded and saw that there were still coconuts on the ground. He asked curiously, why aren't you eating? I'll wait for you to eat together. It's not good for me to eat alone while you're busy. Shen Jingxian shook her head. I'll help you open it. Xiaochen picked up a coconut and pierced a hole with a sharp rock. He handed it to Shen Jingxian and said, drink the coconut juice first, then open it and eat the flesh. Then, do you eat it too? Shen Jingxian hesitated and said. I'll roast the meat first. Xiaochen waved his hand and put the shark meat on the fire with a thick branch and roasted it. There was no seasoning at sea, but Xiaochen injected a trace of primordial energy. With the salty taste of the seawater, it should be delicious. Shen Jingxian picked up the coconut and carefully drank the coconut juice inside. She suddenly felt that it was delicious. This was the best coconut juice she had ever drunk since she was a child. She had drunk fresh coconut juice before, but it wasn't as good as this. Was it because she was thirsty? Shen Jingxian drank the coconut juice in one gulp, but she still wanted more. She wanted to open the coconut shell, but the coconut shell was too hard. She couldn't open it even after peeling twice. Xiaochen kept looking at Shen Jingxian from the corner of his eyes, so he reached out and said, come, I'll help you open it. Shen Jingxian gave the coconut shell to Xiaochen with some embarrassment. Xiaochen easily broke the coconut shell into two halves, and then handed one half to Shen Jingxian. He put the other half in his mouth and chewed on it. Xiaochen was also hungry. Although he was a cultivator, he was far from the point where he didn't need to eat. Shen Jingxian saw that Xiaochen was also eating. She was slightly surprised. That was the coconut that she had drunk from. Xiaochen ate it just like that. Wasn't it equivalent to the two of them kissing indirectly? Thinking of this, Shen Jingxian was a little shy, but she suddenly remembered what happened in the sea. The real kiss had been accepted, so what if it was indirect? So, Shen Jingxian took half of the coconut and learned to eat it like Xiaochen. The coconut meat was soft and delicious. Shen Jingxian quickly ate it, but she found that Xiaochen hadn't finished eating yet. She suddenly felt embarrassed. Wait, the roasted shark is almost ready. Xiaochen didn't feel anything. He ate a little slower because he was roasting the shark meat. He quickly finished the remaining coconut meat, picked up another coconut, smashed it, and handed it to Shen Jingxian. I have enough. You should drink some too. Shen Jingxian said, it's delicious. Oh, there's a lot. Xiaochen put it next to Shen Jingxian, picked up another coconut, smashed it, and said, if it's not enough, I'll pick more. There's nothing else on this island, but there are plenty of coconuts. Chapter 207. The shark meat was quickly roasted and exuded a very tempting meat fragrance. Xiaochen used a stone to cut off a circle of roasted shark meat. He placed it on a clean coconut leaf and handed it to Shen Jingxian. Okay, you can eat. You eat too. Although Shen Jingxian was drooling, she still wanted to act like a lady in front of Xiaochen. I'll eat later. Xiaochen said, there's nothing on this island. I can only make these for you. You can come to the villa to play with Miss one day. I'll make you something I'm good at. Xiaochen just said it casually. It was unknown if Goddess Jingxian would come, but what Xiaochen didn't expect was that Shen Jingxian actually said, okay, shark meat was actually not very delicious. Otherwise, Why would many fishermen just cut off the shark's fins and throw the shark back into the sea? Obviously, it was because shark meat could not be sold at a good price. However, this was also a kind of waste and cruelty. It was practical to catch sharks, but if the shark's fins were cut off and thrown back, the shark could only fend for itself in the sea. Of course, whether shark meat was delicious or not depended on the person who cooked it. The shark meat that was injected with primordial energy by Xiaochen was quite delicious. Shen Jingxian took a small bite and was immediately surprised. Shark meat was delicious. It was crispy on the outside and tender on the inside. It was not that she had never eaten shark meat before, but the meat was very rough and the taste was very bad. It was completely different from the taste she was eating now. Why? Why are the coconut and shark meat so delicious today? Could it be that I'm too hungry? For some reason, a sentence suddenly appeared in Shen Jingxuan's mind. Everything is delicious when I'm with you. It doesn't matter what I eat, it matters who I eat with. Xiaochen didn't know that Shen Jingxian had so many thoughts. The shark meat and coconut were injected with primordial energy. How could they not be delicious? Soon, the remaining shark meat was roasted. Xiaochen and Shen Jingxian sat in front of each other and had a picnic. It was a unique flavor. Chen Jinpeng was sent back by Lin Chao and Li Shanying, but they didn't send him to the shore. He swam back the remaining distance by himself. Cheng Menjing and Jin Beibei were quite anxious on the shore. Xiaochen and his companions had been gone for more than half a day and still hadn't come back by dusk. Cheng Menjing was a bit anxious. Even Jin Beibei, who had always been confident, was a bit worried. In her eyes, although Xiaochen was very powerful, the sea was full of dangers and unknowns, and he still hadn't returned after so long. He tried calling her a few times, but the call did not go through. Clearly, there was no signal in the sea. Finally, he saw Chen Jinpeng coming back, but he was swimming. He couldn't help but feel a little strange. "Hey, little shed, where's my cousin-in-law?" Jin Beibei ran over and asked. "Oh, no. We met a shark on the sea and the boat was overturned. Xiaochen and Jingxian both fell into the sea. We were separated from each other. I finally swam back." Chen Jinpeng said with a sad face, "What should we do? What should we do? Let's ask the warrior guild for help, shall we?" Cheng Menjing's face turned pale immediately. Xiaochen and Shen Jingxian both fell into the sea. And they met a shark? Cheng Menjing didn't know whether Xiaochen could swim or not, but she was sure that Shen Jingxian couldn't. Thinking that Shen Jingxian and Xiaochen might have already been eaten by the fish, Cheng Menjing's heart felt as if it had been ruthlessly smashed by a hammer. All the strength in her body was drained, and she directly went limp on the beach. Jin Beibei was also dumbfounded. She didn't expect that her cousin-in-law, whom she had always thought was awesome, also fell into the sea. What should we do? According to the time when Chen Jinpeng came back from swimming, Xiaochen and Shen Jingxian had been in the sea for a long time. Could they still be saved? Even if the people of the warrior guild helped them, it was absolutely impossible for them to survive. Neither of them was a warrior. Facing a shark, they had no chance to fight back at all. "Menjing, I'm sorry for your loss. This is a natural disaster, which is beyond our control." Chao Yuliang was a little confused. Why did Chen Jinpeng kill Shen Jingxian and come back from swimming? However, it was not appropriate for him to ask her face to face, so he came over and comforted her. How could this happen? Cheng Menjing was a little absent-minded. Thinking of Xiaochen and Shen Jingxian, she felt very sad. Both of them were very important to her, but they lost them at this moment. Thinking of Xiaochen, although this fiancé had never fulfilled his duty as a fiancé, during the days when she lived with him, Xiaochen gave Cheng Menjing a strange feeling. This person was not so bad or annoying. Cheng Menjing felt that she got along well with Xiaochen. She couldn't accept losing him like this. She had been used to the days when Xiao Chen was in the villa and Xiao Chen as a servant. Cousin Menjing, don't worry. Don't give up. I don't think there will be a problem with my cousin-in-law. Jean Bebe suddenly remembered that the gas tank of the car was out of gas. She was immediately filled with hope again. My cousin-in-law is a transformer. Chances are that he can turn into a fishing boat. Not only can he catch whales, he can also bring Sister Jingxian back. Chao Yuliang immediately felt like laughing. Jean Bebe's theory was too hilarious. Xiao Chen could turn into a fishing boat. Was he dreaming about the solar system? Besides, Xiao Chen was a piece of garbage. Not to mention that he could not swim. Even if he could not swim back. Yes. I know Xiao Chen. He likes Shen Jingxian. Chances are that he will do anything when he loses his temper in front of the goddess. Chao Yuliang said so on the surface despite his scorn in his heart. Wrong. He is trying to catch sharks for Bebe to eat. Jean Bebe, however, said. Alright, Bebe, that's enough. Would they have been in danger if you hadn't wanted to eat sharks? Cheng Menjing waved her hands, indicating that Jean Bebe should stop talking. Let's call the Shen family and the Xiao family first. I'll call the Xiao family. Chen Jinpeng, you call the Shen family. Alright. Chen Jinpeng sighed and was about to make the call. Let's not call them yet, shall we? It's not a good idea to call them when everything is not confirmed yet, is it? Chao Yuliang was afraid that the incident would spread out and he and Chen Jinpeng would be exposed. After the incident was over, and the dead could not testify, and the evidence was gone, it would be fine to inform the Shen family and the Xiao family by then. Then, let's wait a little longer. Chen Jinpeng nodded hurriedly. He listened to Chao Yuliang, and Chao Yuliang must have a point. Then. Alright. Cheng Menjing was actually somewhat hopeful, hoping that Xiao Chen and Shen Jingxian would be fine. Because of the incident, they were all silent. Chao Yuliang made a fire and roasted some barbecue that he had brought. Cheng Menjing and Jean Bebe ate a little and went to rest in the tent. Chao Yuliang finally had a chance to be alone with Chen Jinpeng. After returning to their tent, Chao Yuliang asked with a frown, what happened? How did things turn out like this? Did Shen Jingxian die, too? Brother Liang, there was an accident. Here's what happened. As he spoke, Chen Jinpeng told Chao Yuliang about the situation at that time. I see. The shark appeared at the right time. Chao Yuliang frowned. But according to what you said, Xiao Chen didn't mean to hurt you. He likes Shen Jingxian, so it's impossible for him to kill Shen Jingxian. It's all because of Li Shanying's poor skills. But now, they probably can't survive. We'd better think about how to explain this matter. It's easy to explain. Li Shanying and Lin Chao have run away. We just need to keep our mouths shut, Chen Jinpeng said. As long as you don't talk nonsense here. Chao Yuliang said, but Shen Jingxian is dead. Your family will probably have some conflicts with the Shen family. You have to be prepared in advance. Although it's not your fault, you'll be a problem if you're alive. Ah. What should I do? Chen Jinpeng thought about it carefully. It was true. He killed the Shen family's Shen Jingxian, but he was fine. How could the Shen family not blame him? Even if they didn't blame Chen Jinpeng, they would vent their anger on him, right? This made Chen Jinpeng think of the conflict between the Xiao family and the Cheng family. Wasn't it the same for Xiao Chen's father, Xiaofan, and Cheng Menjing's uncle, Cheng Zhongfan? The Cheng family vented their anger on the Xiao family. Thinking of this, Chen Jinpeng was very nervous. Will I be kicked out of the Chen family? Chao Yuliang was a little speechless. Chen Jinkuan is dead. If you are kicked out, won't the Chen family have no descendants? Do you think you're a dispensable piece of trash like Xiaochen? That's true. Chen Jinpeng was relieved after listening. The night on the isolated island was cold, but there was a fire made by Xiaochen in the cave. The two of them didn't feel cold. However, Shen Jingxian couldn't sleep. Too many things happened today. It overturned her nearly 18 years of life. Xiaochen, are you asleep? Asked Shen Jingxian. No. Xiaochen was cultivating. He basically didn't need to sleep. Then, let's talk. I can't sleep. Shen Jingxian said, I'm not used to the sudden change of environment. Okay. Xiaochen nodded. What do you want to say? Xiaochen, have you been hiding your strength in the past? Are you pretending to be weak to eat the tiger? Shen Jingxian asked curiously, you are different from when you were in first high school. If I wasn't sure that you are really you now, I would have thought that you are a different person. People always change, don't they? Xiaochen looked up at the stars outside the cave and sighed. If I say that I started cultivating after I was kicked out of the Xiao family, would you believe me? Of course not. The fifth level of inner force can't be cultivated overnight. Shen Jingxian rolled her eyes at Xiaochen. Do you think I'm easy to fool? Chapter 208. Then you can think of it as me wanting to amaze the world and capture your heart. But before I could realize it, the Xiao family had an accident. Xiaochen couldn't explain his own problem. It was difficult to explain his own things, so it was better to make up a random reason. I don't believe that you are so shallow. You can endure for so long just to please a girl. Shen Jingxian was annoyed, but she didn't believe it. She was still very happy after listening to Xiaochen's words. She wanted to say that in fact, you have realized it, but, in fact, this is normal. Chao Yuliang also hid his strength. He thought that I didn't know. In fact, I know that he is a martial artist at the third level of inner power. Xiaochen said, the children of every big family are not as simple as they look. Just like you seem to be very good to everyone. In fact, in your heart, you didn't like me pestering you before, right? No, I still have a good impression of you. Shen Jingxian was talking about the present, not the past. Let's not talk about me. Let's talk about you. Your Shen family is so powerful. Why do you want to marry the Chen family? Chen Jinpeng, that idiot, is it interesting for you to be with him? Asked Xiaochen. Don't curse. Shen Jingxian said, although he is a little stupid, you shouldn't say it out loud. It's very hurtful. Pfft. You are his fiancé, okay? How did you become on the same side as me? Xiaochen couldn't help but laugh after listening. We are now friends for life and death. Shen Jingxian said, in contrast, our relationship is better. I'm very happy that you said that. Do you know? I used to dream of being alone with you, such as going on a trip together, said Xiaochen. Don't say internet slang that I don't understand. Shen Jingxian continued, you're just trying to make me happy. I don't see how happy you are right now. If I don't talk to you, you'll fall asleep. You don't look happy at all. I'm just too shy to say it. Xiaochen said with a smile, but in his heart, he thought that Shen Jingxian also knew how to joke. It turned out that she was also an ordinary girl. After being in close contact with the goddess, he realized that she was also an ordinary person. I don't believe it. Shen Jingxian said, Xiaochen, can you tell me about yourself? What's going on with your father? How would I know? Xiaochen shrugged helplessly. If I knew, I wouldn't have been kicked out of the Xiao family. They said that my father made a mistake in leading the trial team, but who knows the truth? Shen Jingxian wanted to say that you were kicked out of the Xiao family because of the Cheng family and the Xiao family, right? However, she still didn't say it. If this was the case, it wouldn't work if she exposed it. But if Xiaochen couldn't be with Cheng Menjing, wouldn't she be the culprit? Cheng Menjing would definitely think that she had ulterior motives, right? Next time, when I go back to the Shen family, I will help you inquire about it. Shen Jingxian said, the Shen family still has a lot of information channels. Thank you very much. Xiao Chen said gratefully. He didn't have any official channels now, and he was alone. It couldn't be better that Shen Jingxian, as a member of the Shen family, could inquire about information for him. You don't have to be so polite to me. We are friends of life and death, said Shen Jingxian. Yes, your Shen family is so powerful. Why did you choose to marry the Chen family in Songning? It doesn't make sense. If you want to marry, at least it should be with the Xiao family, right? Xiao Chen said. Puff, cough cough. Shen Jingxian listened to the first half of Xiao Chen's sentence. It was still very serious. The latter half of the sentence made Shen Jingxian a little dumbfounded, but she was also a little happy. Isn't the Xiao family and the Cheng family engaged before they were born? Why would I still get involved? Although the Shen family is very big, there are also many children in the Shen family. My father is responsible for expanding the business around Songning City. If he wants to be outstanding, he must unite with the local aristocratic families. At present, the Chen family is a better choice. The younger generation of the Chen family is not bad. Of course, I am talking about Chen Jinkuan. At least, my father thinks so. For the sake of family business, marriage? This reminded Xiao Chen of CFA. However, even if you expand, so what if you don't expand? Uncle Shen won't be so stupid to sacrifice your happiness in exchange for this little benefit, right? It's not a sacrifice of my happiness. I have to get married anyway, right? Moreover, I have never liked anyone. As long as they are suitable, we will be together. As Shen Jingxian said this, she paused and said, in fact, if my father can win the business around Songning City, it will also be a help to my younger brother. My younger brother is a genius in the younger generation of the Shen family. He is a strong competitor for the next young master. For my younger brother, my father and I came to Songning City to expand the business. Well, every family has its own troubles. Now, I feel that it will be more relaxing to leave the Xiao family. At least, there isn't as much pressure as before. Xiao Chen smiled and said, actually, you can also give it a try. No, I have a younger brother. He is very excellent. I don't want his talent to be buried. Shen Jingxian said, my relationship with him is very good. When I was a child, when I was bullied, he always stood up for me. Although I am the elder sister, I am not as powerful as him. Well, maybe you haven't liked anyone, and your thoughts are different from mine. Xiao Chen nodded and said, but the Chen family. How do I say it? I feel that you have to be a widow. You want to kill Chen Jinpeng? Shen Jingshuan's eyes widened. Consider it a kind reminder. Xiao Chen sighed, if I don't kill him, he will kill me. We are all friends of life and death. Do you want me to die or him to die? Then he should die. Shen Jingxian was a little speechless. But, I always feel that killing is not very good. Can't we solve it in other ways? Do you think it can? Asked Xiao Chen. Forget it. Anyway, if he dies, then he dies. I will look for other families to cooperate with. Shen Jingxian accepted this fact. Then, I am really sorry to you. When I can return to the Xiao family, I will suggest to see if I can marry with your family. Xiao Chen said, the Xiao family is stronger than the Chen family. Are you taking advantage of me? You want me to be your concubine? You are Cheng Menjing's fiancé, okay. Shen Jingxian rolled her eyes at Xiao Chen. Didn't the Cheng family break off the engagement? Xiao Chen suddenly thought of the arrogant young lady. He was really reluctant to be separated from her. If you can return to the Xiao family, it is estimated that you will continue the marriage. Shen Jingxian said, "Okay, let's stop joking. What we said today is a little secret between the two of us. After we go back, don't mention it again, and I think so too." Xiao Chen nodded. He didn't know why he told Shen Jingxian that he wanted to kill Chen Jinpeng, but Shen Jingxian shouldn't harm him. Otherwise, just the fact that he hid his strength was enough to bring him big trouble. Then, let's rest early. We still have to keep our strength and find a way to go back tomorrow. You don't want to occupy me on the island for a lifetime, do you? Shen Jingxian asked this as a joke, but she didn't know why she suddenly looked forward to Xiao Chen's answer. "I want to, but the living environment here is too bad." Xiao Chen sighed and said, "If there are no ships passing by tomorrow, I will take you to swim back." Although Xiao Chen's answer wasn't so perfect, Shen Jingxian was very satisfied. This was a peaceful night. Xiao Chen and Shen Jingxian sat on both sides of the fire, looking at each other and sleeping. Xiao Chen didn't cultivate. He didn't take any medicine today. He was delayed for a day, so he just took it as a rest. The next day, when the first ray of sunlight floated into the cave in the morning, Xiao Chen and Shen Jingxian woke up. The two looked at each other and smiled. "I will go out and get you something to eat. Wait for me," Xiao Chen said as he stood up and walked out of the cave. However, the first thing in the morning, Xiao Chen had to solve the problem of water in his body. Facing the sea breeze, Xiao Chen began to pee. Because Shen Jingxian was still in the cave, Xiao Chen didn't deliberately find a place to hide. Thinking of the heroic spirit in the past, "I peed against the wind for 30 feet. Xiao Chen thought of a famous saying while peeing. Shen Jingxian was also a little anxious in the morning. Seeing that Xiao Chen had left, she tiptoed out of the cave. As soon as she went out, she heard Xiao Chen's heroic words not far away. She subconsciously looked over and saw Xiao Chen using the big bird to pee. She suddenly exclaimed. Xiao Chen was shocked by Shen Jingxian's cry. He thought that something was wrong with Shen Jingxian. He turned around and happened to be face to face with Shen Jingxian. F***ck. Xiao Chen was instantly embarrassed. Shen Jingxian quickly turned around and ran back to the cave. However, there was a thought in her mind. Could Cheng Menjing withstand such a big thing? She couldn't be too full, right? Shen Jingxian found that her thoughts were actually starting to become impure. Xiao Chen finished peeing awkwardly. He didn't dare to return to the cave. He quickly went to the coconut tree to pick the coconuts. Shen Jingxian waited for a while. When she felt that Xiao Chen had left, she quickly flashed out of the cave. When she saw that Xiao Chen was gone, she was relieved. After picking a few fruits, Xiao Chen was surprised to find that the wet patch on the ground had turned into two. He couldn't help but find it funny. He turned around and entered the cave. He didn't mention the previous embarrassment. He just put the coconuts in front of Shen Jingxian and said, "Eat some, then I will take you swimming back." Have you washed your hands?" asked Shen Jingxian subconsciously. She was a person who liked cleanliness. "I washed in the sea." "What about you?" asked Xiao Chen. I. Shen Jingxian blushed instantly. It seemed that Xiao Chen saw the pool of water outside. We are girls. We won't touch it with our hands." Chapter 209. Xiao Chen was stunned and regretted asking such an awkward question. He didn't think so much before, but how awkward would Goddess Jingxian be if he asked? "Let's eat coconuts." "Yes, coconuts are delicious." Xiao Chen changed the topic. Shen Jingxian was speechless. Did Xiao Chen become Jean Bebe? However, it resolved the awkwardness. She nodded and began to drink the coconut juice. In the morning and evening, the two of them ate some coconuts and went to the seaside. They couldn't contact the outside world here. They didn't know how anxious Chen Menjing and the others were. Shen Jingxian and Xiao Chen wanted to go back as soon as possible. However, in the vast sea, it was really difficult to see a ship passing by here. After waiting for a while, he did not even see the shadow of a ship. Xiao Chen was a little impatient. He had already recovered his peak physical strength and could swim back in one go. It was just that it would be too shocking. He could let Shen Jingxian know of his strength, but he definitely could not let Chao Yuliang and Chen Jinpeng know of it. Jingxian, hang on me. I'll swim back with you, Xiao Chen said after thinking for a while. Are you sure about the direction? Shen Jingxian asked. Isn't there a place where the sun rises? Xiao Chen pointed at the sun and said, I know the general direction, but I can't be that precise. However, I don't want others to see me swim back with you. Ah. Are you afraid that I'll embarrass you? Shen Jingxian asked subconsciously. Sometimes, smart women would be stupid in front of the men they liked. Shen Jingxian was like that. Damn, I can't wait to show off. I mainly don't want others to know my strength. Xiao Chen didn't know what Shen Jingxian was thinking. He thought she was teasing him. Oh. You're right. If your daughter sees us, she will think there's something going on between us. It won't be good if she mistreats you when we go back. Shen Jingxian was happy again. She found that she was now prone to emotions. She already knows that I like you. Xiao Chen shrugged indifferently. Shen Jingxuan's face was slightly red. She pursed her lips and raised her head to look at the distant sea. She was a little lost in thought. After she returned, her relationship with Xiao Chen would be over, right? Because they couldn't reveal their secrets, they couldn't show that they were familiar with each other. Hey, what are you thinking about? Xiao Chen was speechless. It wasn't easy for me to confess to you. You don't have to pretend to ignore me even if you don't agree, right? Shen Jingxian was stunned. Don't joke around. You weren't like this when you liked me in the past. Okay. Xiao Chen smiled bitterly. Did I go too far in pretending before? It seems like I have been addicted to it. Did they turn on the anti-addiction system? Let's go back. I'm afraid that Menjing will be anxious, Shen Jingxian said. I'm thinking, it's so far away. Can I swim back? What if I run out of energy halfway? Xiao Chen was actually a little worried. He looked like he was asking Shen Jingxian, but in fact, he was asking the elder heaven ancestor. Your energy is beyond your imagination. Keep it up. Shen Jingxian raised her small fist. Hey, Goddess Jingxian, I realized that after I got familiar with you, you aren't a goddess anymore. Xiao Chen realized that Shen Jingxian was actually a normal and cute girl. Isn't there a saying? Behind every goddess, there is a man who has never treated her as a goddess. Shen Jingxian chuckled. Isn't that saying? Behind every goddess, there is a man who will *ck her until she wants to puke. Xiao Chen said weakly. Annoying. Shen Jingxian said angrily, how dare you *ck me until I want to puke? Xiao Chen scratched his head. I'm just kidding. Shen Jingxian realized that the topic she and Xiao Chen talked about was a bit too much. In fact, she and Cheng Menjing usually talked about similar topics. The topic between best friends was taboo for men. No one would leak it out. I know. Xiao Chen sweated. We are really friends for life and death. There is no taboo topic. On the deserted island, there are no outsiders. There are only you and me in the world. Naturally, there are no scruples. After going back, it won't work. Shen Jingxian sighed. If you have time, you can also go to Cheng Menjing's villa to chat with me. I'm happy to be your life coach. Xiao Chen said. No, you're leading me down the path of evil again. Shen Jingxian pursed her lips and smiled. He he. Xiao Chen smiled. The awkwardness from before was resolved. However, Xiao Chen asked Elder Heaven Ancestor in his mind, Elder Heaven Ancestor, is it okay if I swim back now? As long as you don't encounter a shark, there should be no problem. Elder Heaven Ancestor said, besides, don't you have the goddess's power? What if we encounter a shark? Xiao Chen asked. What is your sixth sense for? If there is a shark in front, why don't you go around it in advance? Do you want to hit it? Elder Heaven Ancestor was speechless. Oh. Xiao Chen found that he still wasn't used to the powerful identity of a cultivator. Everything was from the perspective of a martial artist. Jingxian, do you want to lie on my back or hug me? Xiao Chen asked. Either is fine, but let's do it in front. I don't feel safe at the back, Shen Jingxian said. It's up to you. Xiao Chen stood on the beach and pointed at himself, signaling Shen Jingxian to hang on him. Although she knew that Xiao Chen was taking her to swim back, she was still a bit hesitant. She hesitated for a moment before walking over and lying in Xiao Chen's arms. This action was like a hug between lovers. It felt good. Then, Shen Jingxian was like an octopus, clinging onto Xiao Chen's body, and Xiao Chen dragged the shark into the sea. Do we have to drag the shark? Shen Jingxian felt that it was too hard for Xiao Chen to swim with only his feet while holding her in front and dragging the shark. It was not a swimming posture at all. Yes. Bebe wants to eat it. Xiao Chen nodded. You are so nice to her. Shen Jingxian was a bit envious, but not too envious. Bebe is a very nice person. She has helped me a lot in secret during this period of time, Xiao Chen said. Does she know about you too? Shen Jingxian could tell that Jin Bebe and Xiao Chen were unbelievably close, and their personalities were the same. They were greedy for money and food and liked to play tricks on people. Maybe a little. Xiao Chen was not sure either. But she and eldest lady can be trusted. They won't betray me. What do you mean? Can I? Shen Jingxian was a bit unhappy. Of course not. Xiao Chen added hurriedly. He found that there was something wrong with Shen Jingxian today. She often behaved like a little girl. With the help of his powerful six senses, Xiao Chen could have found the shore where Cheng Menjing was after swimming back, but he did not want Chao Yuliang to see him. Therefore, Xiao Chen chose the sea area 1 kilometer away from them. They didn't encounter any danger on the way back. When they reached the shore, Xiao Chen was so tired that he laid down on the beach. Shen Jingxian also laid down beside him. The two of them looked like a couple who came to sunbathe. I didn't expect that you could come back alive. Xiao Chen, you are excellent, Shen Jingxian looked at the blue sky and said quietly. Thank you for the compliment. Xiao Chen rested for a moment and stood up. Let's go back. When we get there, we will say that we were rescued by the patrol boat. They also helped to catch the shark. Shen Jingxian nodded. The two of them walked side by side along the coastline. Xiao Chen dragged the shark, and his other hand subconsciously held Shen Jingxuan's buttocks. Ah! Shen Jingxian was suddenly shocked when her buttocks were touched. She exclaimed and glared at Xiao Chen. What are you doing? When I dragged the shark, I thought we were still in the sea. It was a subconscious action. I was afraid that you would fall off me when I was swimming. Xiao Chen did not mean it. In fact, he really thought so. Although it felt good to touch in this situation, it was completely different from the feeling in the sea. Oh! Shen Jingxuan's heart softened at once. She thought that Xiao Chen had to drag the shark with one hand and hold her with the other. How hard must it have been for him to swim back? Even if he did it on purpose, so what? Moreover, it was not on purpose. It was for her. Xiao Chen moved his hand away quickly. Shen Jingxian felt a little disappointed. She wanted to say that he could still pretend that they were in the sea, but she did not have the courage to say it. If she said it, she was afraid that Xiaochen would look down on her and no longer treat her as a goddess. 1 kilometer was actually not too far. In the blink of an eye, they could see the cars and tents not far away. Cheng Menjing sat on the beach early in the morning. She looked at the vast ocean in front of her, trying to see something from it. But how could she see anything? Hey, cousin Menjing, go and eat something. It's almost noon. You are about to become a husband-gazing rock. Jean Bebe said. Xiaochen treats you so well. Why aren't you worried? Cheng Menjing frowned. He. Cousin Menjing, you finally admit that you are worried about my cousin-in-law, too. Jean Bebe looked at Cheng Menjing with a smile. I think I have the potential to be a prophet. My cousin-in-law will be fine. You've watched too many TV dramas, haven't you? Don't ever watch them after you go back. Cheng Menjing glared at Jean Bebe. She was still joking at such a critical moment. In fact, I'm confident in my cousin-in-law. Jean Bebe calmed herself down. Recalling the miracles of Xiaochen, she did not believe that Xiaochen would be screwed just like that. The man that Jean Bebe thought highly of must be very awesome. But the sea is different from the land. It is full of unknowns. Cheng Menjing sighed. Before she finished, she saw Jean Bebe stand up and run away from her. She immediately burst into fury. What's wrong with Jean Bebe? Why is she so impatient at such a critical moment? She was about to scold her when she heard Jean Bebe jumping and shouting, cousin-in-law. Cousin-in-law. Chapter 210. Cheng Menjing was stunned. Could it be that Jean Bebe missed Xiaochen so much that she became mentally ill all of a sudden? However, when she saw Xiaochen and Shen Jingshuan silhouettes not far away, she immediately could not believe her eyes. They were back. Cheng Menjing hurried to get up from the beach. Her previous gloominess was gone. However, she was a little unhappy when she saw Xiaochen walking over with Shen Jingxian side by side with a shark in his hand. Humph, you only know how to pretend to be pretentious to please Shen Jingxian. Why didn't I see you trying to please me with a shark? I don't need to worry about you anymore. You deserve to die. If Xiaochen heard her, Xiaochen would feel wronged. The shark he was leading was for Jean Bebe. Jean Bebe's scream also attracted Chao Yuliang and Chen Jinpeng, who were not far away. Previously, they and Cheng Menjing had the same thought and thought that Jean Bebe was hallucinating. However, when they turned around and saw Xiaochen and Shen Jingxian walking to them safe and sound, they were immediately dumbfounded. What's going on? Why aren't they dead? Chao Yuliang came to himself after a long while and asked Chen Jinpeng sternly. Huh? I don't know. Chen Jinpeng was so scared that he almost peed his pants. His eyes widened in shock. That's impossible. They both fell into the sea. How could they come back? Damn it. Did you leave any loopholes at that time? They don't know that you helped them, do they? Fierceness flashed in Chao Yuliang's eyes. I don't know. When Li Shanying rescued me, they had already sunk to the bottom of the sea. Chen Jinpeng said, I got it. Were they rescued by someone else, too? Are there other people nearby? Chao Yuliang asked with a frown. That's not true, but it's a dangerous area nearby. There should be patrol ships appearing at a fixed time every day. Chen Jinpeng said. Let's go and take a look first. Chao Yuliang cursed in his heart. Wasn't he just freaking lucky? If he didn't die, was there any justice in the world? Chao Yuliang and Chen Jinpeng pretended to be concerned and ran over. Chao Yuliang said, Xiaochen, are you all right? We've been waiting for you here for a day and a night. If you hadn't appeared, we would have gone to the warrior guild to seek help. Oh? Is that so? Xiaochen laughed, then you really underestimate me. How can I die? I just went on a date with goddess Jingxian in the sea and came back after the date. His words made Cheng Menjing frown slightly. Although she knew that Xiaochen must be talking nonsense, she still felt a little uncomfortable. I'm here worrying about you, and you went on a date? Shen Jingxuan's face blushed slightly as if what Xiaochen said was true. Wow, see? I told you that my cousin-in-law is a transformer. He's back. Jean Bebe didn't see through Cheng Menjing's thoughts and shouted happily. Humph, who knows if he was lucky enough to be rescued by a fishing boat. Cheng Menjing curled her lips, but she was a little curious. How did Xiaochen come back? It's not a fishing boat. It's a patrol ship that helped us catch a shark, Xiaochen said as he pointed at the shark in his hand. In fact, how could a patrol ship help Xiaochen catch a shark? They all had other jobs. However, neither Cheng Menjing nor Chao Yuliang knew about such things. Therefore, they didn't care about it at all. They just thought that Xiaochen was lucky. Jean Bebe, on the other hand, looked at the shark in Xiaochen's hand where a piece of meat had been cut off and was deep in thought. Xiaochen was rescued by a patrol ship. Not only did they help him catch a shark, but they also asked him to cut off a piece of the shark's meat and cook it for him. However, Jean Bebe didn't say anything. She only pretended to be happy. Oh. My cousin-in-law has been thinking about me. I'm so happy. Seeing that Xiaochen and Shen Jingxian didn't mention the details of falling into the water and didn't suspect Chen Jinpeng, Chao Yuliang was instantly relieved. However, when he was relieved, he heard Xiaochen ask, Chen Jinpeng, how did you come back? I thought you were dead, and you were planning to marry your widow. Shen Jingxian almost kicked Xiaochen. Widow? Can't you have a little bit of integrity? I haven't married Chen Jinpeng yet, okay? Well. I know how to swim. I wanted to save you, but I found that you had all sunk to the bottom and couldn't see anyone. I could only swim by myself. Finally, I saw a ship and was saved. Chen Jinpeng said awkwardly. Oh, I see. I thought you didn't want Shen Jingxian anymore and gave her to me. Xiaochen said. How could that be? It wasn't arranged by my family. However, Boss Xiaochen, if you are powerful, you can also try to pursue her. Chen Jinpeng said helplessly. He didn't want Xiaochen to touch Shen Jingxian at all. However, he had to say something polite at this time. Oh, I will think about it. Goddess Jingxian, you see that your fiancé doesn't mind. I will ask you out in the future. Xiaochen nodded and said. Shen Jingxian pursed her lips and didn't know how to answer. However, Cheng Menjing kicked Xiaochen and said, don't joke around. Why would Jingxian like you? Just be this lady's servant obediently, don't have such perverted thoughts. Oh. Xiaochen nodded. Since Xiaochen and Jingxian are fine, that's great. Let's go and barbecue. We didn't have much to eat yesterday. Let's have a big meal today. Chao Yuliang said to smooth things over. Thus, the few of them sat around the beach. Xiaochen cut up the shark meat, and Chen Jinpeng brought over a few coconuts as if he was presenting a treasure. Jingxian, eat some coconuts. They're fresh, I just plucked them from the tree. They taste completely different from the ones you buy in the supermarket. Shen Jingxian was slightly stunned. She took the coconuts, but she thought of Xiaochen. However, now wasn't the time to fall out with Chen Jinpeng. She still had a great mission, which was to be an undercover and investigate the unspeakable secrets of Chen Jinpeng and Chao Yuliang. So, on the surface, Shen Jingxian still took the coconuts. Come on, she took a sip, but she almost spat it out. It was completely different from the coconuts that Xiaochen gave her. This wasn't as good as the coconut juice sold in the supermarket. How does it taste? Isn't it delicious? Chen Jinpeng looked at Shen Jingxian expectantly. It's okay. Shen Jingxian nodded against her will. Huh, that's right. This is a pollution-free natural coconut from the beach. I specially customized it for you. How about it? Chen Jinpeng said proudly. Thank you. Shen Jingxian wanted to say, what a broken coconut. It tastes terrible. It's not as good as the one given by Xiao Chen. But her character was like this. She couldn't say those hurtful words. You're welcome. Let's go to eat shark meat. I'll roast some for you. Chen Jinpeng said. While Xiao Chen was busy roasting the shark meat for eldest lady and Jean Beibei, Chen Jinpeng had to roast the shark meat for Chao Yuliang and Shen Jingxian. After all, he was their little brother. Because the shark meat roasted by Xiao Chen was enhanced by primordial qi, Cheng Menjing and Jean Beibei enjoyed it very much. But Chen Jinpeng didn't. The shark meat was not delicious in the first place. Besides, the cooking conditions were limited. The shark meat roasted by Chen Jinpeng was fishy and hard. Shen Jingxian almost threw up after taking a bite. How could it taste so bad? However, when they were on the deserted island, the shark meat roasted by Xiao Chen tasted so good, while the shark meat roasted by Chen Jinpeng tasted so bad. Why was there such a huge difference between the shark meat and the shark meat? Also, it was not as simple as not tasty. It would be nice to say that the shark meat tasted bad. It was simply hard to swallow. However, when Shen Jingxian saw that Jean Beibei and Cheng Menjing were enjoying the shark meat, she was confused. Could it be that the shark meat roasted on a small cart was still so delicious? Was it because of the shark or the fire? On second thought, she was afraid that it was not the case. It must be because of the difference in their skills. Therefore, Shen Jingxian envied Cheng Menjing and Jean Beibei very much, but she couldn't say that she also wanted to eat the shark meat roasted by Xiao Chen. Xiao Chen worked for Cheng Menjing, and she had Chen Jinpeng on her side. If she said that, what would Cheng Menjing think? I'm full. Shen Jingxian put down the shark meat after taking 2 bites. She really could not eat any more. Eat more. Chen Jinpeng saw that Shen Jingxian wasn't eating anymore, so he picked up a piece of roasted shark meat and stuffed it into his mouth. However, he only took 1 bite and spat it out. What the f***ck is this? Why doesn't it taste good? Hey, your cooking skills are too lousy. The food cooked by my cousin-in-law is the best. Jean Beibei's mouth was full of grease. Well. Seeing that Jean Beibei and Cheng Menjing were really enjoying the shark meat and did not seem to be pretending, Chen Jinpeng was somewhat confused. Was his cooking skills really so bad? Jingxian, try the shark meat roasted by Xiao Chen. It's delicious. As Cheng Menjing spoke, she picked up a piece of shark meat and gave it to Shen Jingxian. Then. I'll have a try. Shen Jingxian took it. In fact, Shen Jingxian was a bit sad in her heart. On the uninhabited island, Xiao Chen's food belonged to her. But now that she was back, she had to depend on Cheng Menjing's mood. Shen Jingxian knew that Cheng Menjing would definitely give it to her if she asked for it. But the problem was, how could she ask for it? What reason could she use to ask for it? What? It's really delicious. Shen Jingxian actually wanted to take a bite, but she still pretended to take a small bite tentatively. Then, she kept praising, Menjing, you found a good servant. You're so lucky to have delicious food at home. Of course. Look whose servant she is. Only an upper-class person like me can have such a great chef. Cheng Menjing said complacently, Jingxian, you can come to my house for dinner on weekends. Then I'm sorry to bother you. Shen Jingxian was very willing to go there, whether it was to eat or to see Xiao Chen. Chen Jinpeng had a helpless look on his face. This Xiao Chen was a servant, but he actually managed to learn such good culinary skills. It was really infuriating. However, when he thought about it, it was nothing much. The chefs in five-star hotels were very good, but they were just chefs. How could they compare with him? Chapter 211. He was the young master of the Chen family, the heir of the young patriarch, and an extremely powerful existence. Xiao Chen was just an abandoned pawn. That. Boss Xiao Chen, can I have a taste? Chen Jinpeng looked at Shen Jingxian and the others eating happily. He was a little greedy, and his mouth watered. Oh, sure. Xiao Chen directly picked up a piece of roasted shark meat and stuffed it into Chen Jinpeng's mouth. However, he only added a small amount of primordial energy to make the shark meat taste slightly better. Even if Xiao Chen's culinary skills were superb, in a situation where there was no seasoning and equipment, and the shark meat was not very tasty, so Xiao Chen did not add primordial energy. It could only be said that it was slightly better than Chen Jinpeng's, but not by much. Wah 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 wah. Chen Jinpeng jumped up from the ground with a whoosh and jumped around. He pulled the shark meat out of his mouth with his hand and panted. It's hot, it's hot. Although he was a martial artist at the peak of the second stage of inner force, he had never trained his mouth. It was so hot that his mouth was spewing fire. Chao Yuliang frowned. The purpose of today's outing was not achieved at all. It had now become a clown show. Chen Jinpeng had become an idiot who was teased by Xiao Chen. Thinking of this, Chao Yuliang said helplessly, "All right, Jinpeng, how hot can it be? Hurry up and finish eating. Then, we can think about what to play later." Okay. Chen Jinpeng was ready again. The shark meat was also cold. He took a bite and found that the taste was really good. It was much better than what he roasted. It seemed that Xiao Chen really had some skills. You guys eat. I'm going to find a place to relieve myself. As Chao Yuliang spoke, he stood up and walked not far away. He was not going to relieve himself, but to call Li Shanning and ask what was going on. Xiao Chen was not dead at all. Chao Yuliang said that he was going to the toilet, so naturally no one paid attention to him, but Xiao Chen's divine sense was locked on him. After the call went through, Chao Yuliang said unhappily, "Young Master Li, this isn't right. Xiao Chen isn't dead at all. What are you doing? It's fine that he didn't die the first time, but now that he's back, I thought he was a zombie." What? Xiao Chen is not dead? Li Shanning was stunned. He was already on the way back to Boundless Province. He was about to reach Weijiang City. Chao Yuliang's call made him a little scared. Really? Young Master Chao, are you joking? What's the point of lying to you? Chao Yuliang said, he was alive and kicking. It was said that he was rescued by a boat. Why didn't you watch him die and then leave? There were sharks at that time. We couldn't have been there all the time. Li Shanning said, but Xiao Chen is really lucky. Then you wait for me. I will go back to Weijiang City, and then I will rush back. We will think of other ways. Okay, I will wait for your news, said Chao Yuliang. Although Xiao Chen was barbecuing quietly on the surface, Chao Yuliang's words were heard by Xiao Chen. There was no other noise on the beach, only the regular sound of the tide. With Xiao Chen's keen sixth senses, it was easy to filter out this regular noise. In addition, Chao Yuliang wasn't far away. He thought that he couldn't hear it, but after Xiao Chen filtered out the regular noise, he could still clearly hear what he was saying. Li family? Which family is this? Is it the person behind Chao Yuliang? However, listening to Chao Yuliang's tone, the two should be in a relationship of equal cooperation, but Xiao Chen couldn't remember when he had offended the Li family. Now it was certain that the previous high-altitude accident was also caused by Chao Yuliang and this young Master Li. He just knew that this didn't make much sense. Xiao Chen was thinking about where this person came from. Surnamed Li. Xiao Chen tried hard to recall all the people with the surname Li that he knew, or the people he had offended. Li Shanpao. Xiao Chen finally thought of a name. It was Li Shanpao, the opponent he met in the car race. Could it be that this Li family was Li Shanpao's family? But thinking about the last racer was Chao Yuliang, it was not difficult to understand that he had cooperation with the family behind Li Shanpao. It seemed that after going back, it was necessary to investigate Li Shanpao's matter. At least, Xiao Chen had to know the other party's background so that he could take precautions next time. Chao Yuliang came back soon. Xiao Chen didn't look at him and continued to roast the shark meat in his hand. Everyone had a good time eating. Is there a share for me? Chao Yuliang said calmly. Xiao Chen didn't bother with him, but it made Chao Yuliang a little embarrassed. He looked at Chen Jinpeng and said, "Did you roast it?" "Yes, but my roast is not as good as Xiao Chen's roast," Chen Jinpeng said quickly. Chao Yuliang frowned and thought, "You are boosting others' morale and belittling your own. The same shark meat, the same fire, and the same seasoning. How big of a difference can there be?" Recently, Chao Yuliang found that it seemed that nothing could compare with Xiao Chen. After Xiao Chen was driven out of the Xiao family, he was like a fish in water. He was doing quite well and surpassed Chao Yuliang in everything. Of course, Chao Yuliang had internal strength and was a warrior. But he felt that this advantage, which was better than Xiao Chen's, could not be exposed for the time being. At the critical moment, it would be of great use. Taking a deep breath, Chao Yuliang decided to bear it for the time being and wait for Li Shaning to come back. Although he and Chen Jinpeng could easily kill Xiao Chen here, they would be exposed and it would be difficult to explain to Qing Menjing, Jin Beibei, and Shen Jingxian. Therefore, he sat by the fire and began to roast the shark meat. After Sun Rongjin was trampled on by Xiao Chen, he was incomparably depressed. Today, Redhead said that he had found some information from his investigation, so Sun Rongjin invited Redhead over. It just so happened that they could drive their yacht to the seaside to relax. The sea area where Xiao Chen and the others were at was not far from the neighboring city. Sun Rongjin was driving the yacht with Red Hair sitting next to him. They were sailing slowly on the sea. "Young Master Jin, I've found out that the person who fried Youtiao is from the Xiao family in Songning. He is the abandoned son of the Xiao family, young Master Xiao Chen. He has been kicked out of the Xiao family." Red Hair was very well informed. People in the underworld naturally had their own ways of gathering information. Xiao Chen used to be in Songning No. 1 middle school. He was classmates with Kerlin, who sells noodles. Xiao Chen also has two underlings, Zhu Yingxiong and Chen Jinpeng. Zhu Yingxiong seems to be Xiao Chen's underling, but I heard that Chen Jinpeng has betrayed him and joined one of Xiao Chen's enemies. These were all things that were out in the open. As long as Red Hair paid attention, he could naturally find out from others. "You're doing a good job. You're efficient. I'm very satisfied." Sun Rongjin patted Red Hair's shoulder. Then, his expression turned ferocious. "Motherf *Ker, it's fine if you're from the Xiao family, but you're just an abandoned son of a useless young master. How dare you act tough in front of me? I'll kill you the next time I see you." Especially when he heard that Xiao Chen and Kerlin were classmates and that Zhu Yingxiong was Xiao Chen's underling, he was even more furious. So there was such a relationship? No wonder Zhu Yingxiong beat him up last time. It was because of Xiao Chen. There was definitely something fishy going on between Xiao Chen and Kerlin. However, he didn't dare to offend Zhu Yingxiong. Last time, Lu Jianbiao went and didn't return. Zhu Yingxiong wasn't a simple person either. As long as it wasn't a blood feud, he could only pinch his nose and accept it. But Xiao Chen and Kerlin, little b asterisk tch, wait until I kill Xiao Chen, then I'll kill you. Yeah, I was just careless last time. I lost Jingzhou because of my carelessness. Now, young Master Jin, you bring a second stage inner force bodyguard with you whenever you go out. If you meet Xiao Chen again, you'll beat him up. Red Hair bragged. Huh. Sun Rongjin suddenly cried out in surprise. The speed of the yacht also slowed down. He pointed at the shore not far away in surprise and said, Red Hair, look at the person barbecuing on the shore. Isn't that Xiao Chen? Let me see. It seems to be true. Red Hair was also shocked. He widened his eyes in surprise. Hee, I was just about to look for him, and now he's here. Sun Rongjin smiled sinisterly. He wasn't afraid today. Behind him was a second stage inner force bodyguard. Wouldn't he beat Xiao Chen to death? It seems like even the heavens are helping young Master Jin. They've sent Xiao Chen to your doorstep for you to take care of. Red Hair flattered. Doc. Sun Rongjin steered the yacht toward the shore. Hearing the do-do-do sound of the yacht motor, Chao Yuliang and Chen Jinpeng thought that Li Shanning had returned. However, when they looked up, they saw two unfamiliar yachts. They had never seen the people on them before either. Sun Rongjin got off the boat and rushed over aggressively with the red-haired man. Behind him was the martial artist bodyguard who was at the second stage of inner strength. They ran straight for Xiao Chen. Kid, enemies are bound to meet on a narrow road. You're very capable, huh? Weren't you very arrogant last time? Let's see how you can still be arrogant this time. Sun Rongjin pointed at Xiao Chen and sneered condescendingly. Cheng Menjing and Jin Beibei were stunned. They didn't know who Sun Rongjin was, but they knew Red Hair. Previously, Lu Zhenming wanted to run him over with a car. Could this person be Red Hair's helper? Chao Yuliang and Chen Jinpeng were stunned. They didn't know who Sun Rongjin was scolding. It was difficult to tell who Sun Rongjin was targeting when they were together. You little shack. Your boss is being scolded. Why aren't you doing anything? Xiao Chen could tell the strength of the second stage inner force martial artist bodyguard with one glance. This kind of person wasn't worthy of him personally dealing with. With Chen Jinpeng around, Xiao Chen didn't want to expose his identity at all. Do you want me to never come out with you again? Chen Jinpeng didn't want to be a busybody. However, since Xiao Chen said so, he looked at Chao Yuliang awkwardly. Chao Yuliang felt helpless too. He finally understood that this guy was here for Xiao Chen. To be honest, he was happy to see Xiao Chen being trampled on. However, when Xiao Chen said that he wouldn't come out to play again if Chao Yuliang didn't help him, it was a little f***ed up. Chapter 212. This time, Xiao Chen didn't die. After Li Shanning came back, they still had to plan the next assassination together. If Xiao Chen didn't come out, how could they assassinate him? Thinking of this, Chao Yuliang had to nod to Chen Jinpeng. Chen Jinpeng got Chao Yuliang's hint and immediately stood up in anger. Where did you come from, little b*****? Are you pretending? Without waiting for Sun Rongjin to speak, Chen Jinpeng slapped Sun Rongjin's face, making a loud and clear sound. Sun Rongjin was dumbfounded. Who was this? Why did he hit me the moment he came up? This was a grudge between me and Xiao Chen. Why did this kid get involved? What did it have to do with him? What are you doing? How dare you hit me? Don't you know who I am? Sun Rongjin was immediately angry. He said to the bodyguard behind him, Uncle Lan, take him down for me. Yes. Sun Dalan was a guard of the Sun family. He nodded and went to catch Chen Jinpeng. In fact, a Stage 2 inner force master was already very powerful for ordinary people. Many ordinary people couldn't achieve anything in their lifetime. A martial artist said, "Kid, are you going to surrender, or do you want to suffer a little?" Looking at the person who showed his stage 2 inner force strength, Chen Jinpeng smiled disdainfully and spat on the ground. A stage 2 inner force martial artist. Are you pretending to be a little B******? You're so old, but you're only at stage 2 inner force. Don't you feel ashamed? Sun Dalan was stunned. At this time, Chen Jinpeng had already made his move. He slapped him again. This time, he used all his strength, showing the peak of stage 2 inner force. Sun Dalan was shocked. He didn't expect the other party to be a martial artist who was more powerful than him. He was shocked and wanted to dodge, but how could he dodge? After being hit by Chen Jinpeng, half of his cheek swelled up and his teeth started to bleed. You, who the hell are you? Sun Rongjin was also shocked. How did a martial artist appear beside Xiao Chen? Wasn't Xiao Chen a good-for-nothing? Moreover, he had already been kicked out of the Xiao family. How could he still have a bodyguard by his side? You don't even know me? I am boss Xiao Chen's little brother. Although Chen Jinpeng was a little stupid sometimes, he was not stupid. He was standing up for Xiao Chen, so he was naturally unwilling to announce his name and provoke an enemy for no reason. This person was obviously the son of a rich family. To be able to bring along a level 2 inner strength bodyguard, he must have some strength. Chen Jinpeng didn't want to find trouble for himself. Little brother? Isn't his little brother Zhu Yingxiong? Sun Rongjin was stunned. You also know Zhu Yingxiong? Chen Jinpeng was also stunned. He thought that this person knew Xiao Chen very well. He is another little brother of mine. His name is Chen Jinpeng, and he is from the Chen family in Songning. Xiao Chen added. Anyway, it was good to divert Sun Rongjin's attention. What? Chen Jinpeng? Didn't you betray us? Sun Rongjin looked at Chen Jinpeng in astonishment. Why did this person come back to be Xiao Chen's little brother? Could it be that Xiao Chen's salted fish had turned over a new leaf? What betrayal? We are just all good now. This is Chao Yuliang's brother Liang. He is now boss Xiao Chen's friend. Chen Jinpeng stretched out his hand and pointed at Chao Yuliang. Chao Yuliang frowned. This Chen Jinpeng was really stupid. Why did he expose his identity for no reason? Now, he had become Xiao Chen's ally. He was happy to see someone teach Xiao Chen a lesson, but now he had to stand up for Xiao Chen. Good, you guys are really good. Remember, I am Sun Rongjin from the Sun family in a neighboring city. My uncle is the alchemist's son from the warrior guild. Just you wait. Sun Rongjin knew that he couldn't take care of Xiao Chen today, so he said some harsh words and planned to deal with it later. What's there to be afraid of? My dad is the vice president of the warrior guild. Chen Jinpeng said indifferently. Chen Jinpeng's father, Chen Huanling, was the vice president of the warrior guild. Of course, he was the lowest-ranking vice president. Basically, he didn't have much power, but he still had the status. The president and executive vice president of the warrior guild were appointed by the headquarters of the warrior guild. As for the other two vice presidents, they were selected from the local youths with great strength. Although the Songning warrior guild was in Songning city, it wasn't exclusive to Songning city. There were several cities nearby that didn't have a warrior guild. They were also under the jurisdiction of the Songning warrior guild. Therefore, one of the other two vice presidents was selected from another city, and the other from this city. Among the strong young people, Chen Huanling wasn't the only one who was relatively strong. Cheng Menjing's uncle and Xiao Chen's father were also very strong, but they weren't keen on this kind of position of power. Instead, they liked to break through themselves in the trial and improve their martial arts strength. Chen Huanling was more keen on power, so he ran for the vice president. This was also one of the conditions that the Shen family, Shen Zhenghao and the Chen family valued by the marriage. With the help of the warrior guild, it would naturally be easier to develop. Sun Rongjin's expression changed slightly. He suddenly remembered that he could bully Xiao Chen at will, but not Chen Jinpeng and Chao Yuliang. Not to mention that they were the children of martial arts families, their fathers were also famous figures. The Sun family now relied on Medicine Master Sun, and they hadn't surpassed the Xie family yet. Naturally, they couldn't be arrogant in front of the martial arts families. He took a deep breath and said to Xiao Chen, "Okay, I don't believe that you can always be with them. I can't deal with them, but I can kill you, hee. I rarely go out alone." Xiao Chen said. "Then we'll see." Humph. After saying that, Sun Rongjin glared at Red Hair and the guard and said, "Let's go." Sun Rongjin left with his tail between his legs. He had tried to cause trouble for Xiao Chen twice in a row, but he didn't succeed. Most importantly, he lost face in front of his new followers, which made him even more unhappy. As he walked, he said, "Red Hair, keep an eye on him. If he goes to the morning market again and doesn't have any experts with him, call me over. I'll kill him. Don't worry, young Master Jean. This Xiao Chen is quite good at borrowing others' strength. Last time, I wanted to take care of him, but a rich second generation came and wanted to kill me. Now that I think about it, he might be Xiao Chen's friend. So if we want to touch him, we can only avoid these people." "That's right." Sun Rongjin nodded and got on the yacht. He glanced at Xiao Chen from the corner of his eyes, and a sharp light flashed in his eyes. He hesitated for a moment and said, "Kidnapping, do you dare to do it?" "Kidnapping?" Red Hair was slightly stunned. Although he was a commoner, he only extorted and blackmailed. However, kidnapping was a bit too much, and he really hadn't done it before. Xiao Chen is a smart kid. I thought about his last sentence. This kid might be purposely showing off to me. He said that he won't go out. I suspect that he's going to hide, so if we make a move, we won't have any chance. Sun Rongjin said. Then, young Master Jean means to kidnap Xiao Chen? Red Hair couldn't figure it out. Since they had the ability to kidnap Xiao Chen, wouldn't it be better to just beat him half to death? Was there a need to capture him? Idiot, how can we kidnap him? We can kidnap Kerlin. Sun Rongjin chuckled. That Xiao Chen seems to like Kerlin a lot. He stood up for her several times and even instructed his underling, Zhu Yingxiong, to stand up for her. If we kidnap her and assign Xiao Chen to go alone, it's impossible that he won't come. When he comes, won't we be able to do whatever we want? That's true, but can he come? Red Hair was a little uncertain. Whether he comes or not, that's his business. If he doesn't come, I'll ck Kerlin and play with her to disgust Xiao Chen to death. Sun Rongjin laughed lewdly. Hee, I'll play with his woman. Let's see what he'll do. Let him be cocky in front of me. Good idea. Red Hair thought about it. Anyway, this was Sun Rongjin's plan. If something happened, it would be Sun Rongjin who would solve it. What did it have to do with him? He was just a pawn. Moreover, Kerlin's family didn't have any background, so she probably wouldn't be able to cause any trouble. Therefore, he flattered, young Master Jean, when do we make our move? Go back and plan. We'll make our move as soon as possible. Sun Rongjin thought of Kerlin's beautiful appearance, and he was a little tempted. When Sun Rongjin said these words, his yacht had already sailed far away, so he couldn't hear what Sun Rongjin said. However, he knew it wasn't something good seeing Sun Rongjin and Red Hair whispering. However, Xiao Chen wasn't afraid of him. Boss Xiao Chen, how did you offend the Sun family? Chen Jinpeng waited for Sun Rongjin to leave before asking, if I didn't make a move, you'd be in trouble today. Next time, come eat and play with us. Otherwise, it's too dangerous. Your little brother, can protect you too. Chen Jinpeng's meaning was obvious. He wanted Xiaochen to come out with them next time. This way, it would be convenient for Li Shanying to make his move. As for Sun Rongjin, from Chen Jinpeng's point of view, he and Xiaochen had a small conflict, but it definitely wasn't a life-and-death feud. It was impossible for Sun Rongjin to kill Xiaochen, so whether Sun Rongjin taught Xiaochen a lesson or not didn't mean much to him. This guy wanted to do something bad to Kerlin, so he was beaten up by Zhu Yingxiong. His little brother, Red Hair, was beaten up by me because he spent fake money in the morning market. That's how we became enemies. Xiaochen didn't hide it because these were all things that happened in the open. Anyone could find out if they investigated carefully. If that's the case, then don't go out for a few days. If you want to go out, we'll go next weekend. You're older than Elder Heaven Ancestor, so you have to stay at home for a few days. Chen Jinpeng meant that Xiaochen couldn't go out. It must be very boring to travel between home and school. When the weekend came, they could go out together. At that time, Li Shanying might think of a better way to deal with Xiaochen. Okay, what are we playing next Saturday? We won't be racing, right? Xiaochen asked casually. Chapter 213. By the way, does Li Shanpao, who raced with me last time, have anyone from the same sect left? Find another one to race with me. I find that I've been fascinated by racing recently. There are so many good cars at home that I can't feel comfortable without racing. Chen Jinpeng was somewhat speechless. Those cars were all his, all right? They were all set up by Jin Beibei and Xiaochen. Chao Yuliang, on the other hand, had an idea. Racing was not a bad way to get rid of Xiaochen. As long as it was handled properly and planned well, it would work. Last time, Li Shanpao and Lin Chao were not familiar with the terrain. This time, he could ask Li Shanying to make a plan in advance. Thinking of this, Chao Yuliang opened his mouth and said, "All right, I'll ask around." It seems that his fellow disciples aren't happy that you won against him. Because Li Shanpao died in an accident, they feel that you won disgracefully and want to challenge him back. I didn't think much about it at that time and turned them down. Now, Xiaochen, since you want to continue racing, that's not a problem. I can help you ask them. Well, it's better to pay them handsomely. Otherwise, it will be boring. They can be dissatisfied, but they have to pay me. My appearance fee is very expensive, said Xiaochen. Chao Yuliang cursed in his heart. F***ck, you're the one who wants to race, yet you still want an appearance fee? What kind of logic is this? However, he couldn't refuse. What if he said he didn't have the money and Xiaochen wouldn't go? This was a good opportunity to kill Xiaochen. Therefore, he could only say, there will definitely be a prize for racing. Don't worry. If you win, the prize will be yours. That's not what I meant. If they are dissatisfied and want me to race with them, they should pay me some appearance fee in addition to the prize, right? Xiaochen said shamelessly. Chao Yuliang finally figured it out. Xiaochen began to increase the price the moment he heard that his opponents were dissatisfied and wanted to challenge him back. What a cheap mouth. However, he could not go back on his words. He said gloomily, "Okay, I will certainly fight for you. Let's see if they will pay you." Yes, just tell them that if they don't pay, don't expect me to participate in the competition. Xiaochen said, "Chao Yuliang, I believe that based on our many years of struggle, your IQ is more than enough to handle this matter. You are a highly intelligent person, right?" Yes. Chao Yuliang thought to himself, what does this have to do with intelligence? However, he couldn't say that he was stupid, so he could only nod his head. At this point, there was no point in staying at the seaside. Chao Yuliang was not in the mood at all. Although he wanted to pursue Cheng Menjiang, killing Xiao Chen was also the top priority. Looking at Xiao Chen's swagger in front of him, Chao Yuliang wanted to kick him into the sea. Shen Jingxian looked at the conversation between Xiao Chen and Chao Yuliang. After thinking about it carefully, she realized that Xiao Chen's words were all meaningful. It seemed that Xiao Chen was a reckless playboy and seemed to be very arrogant, but his words were always about making money. Shen Jingxian didn't know why Xiao Chen was so short of money. He asked for money every time. What did he need the money for? It could be said that Xiao Chen was still as extravagant as before. It was okay for him to ask for money, but Shen Jingxian didn't see that Xiao Chen was extravagant at all. Where did his money go? Was it to be used to marry a wife? Shen Jingxuan's face suddenly turned red. It's getting late. Today, Xiao Chen and Jingxian also suffered a lot of shock. Let's go back early. Chao Yuliang suggested, everyone still has to go to school tomorrow. Let's go back and rest. Cheng Menjing didn't object. In fact, she wasn't in the mood for this trip. She had been worried about Xiao Chen and Shen Jingxian. They were back. Although the stone in her heart was lifted, it was difficult to have the relaxed and pleasant feeling of the trip. It was better to go back early and rest. Therefore, they packed up their things and returned to Songning City. Chen Jinpeng was still sitting in the last row with a pile of luggage. Few of these luggage were useful. Cheng Menjing and Jean Beibei didn't have time to do facial masks last night, so they brought all the luggage for nothing. Because it was on the way, they sent Shen Jingxian back first. However, when Shen Jingxian got off the car, Xiao Chen looked reluctant. He waved his hand to her and said, Goddess Jingxian, let's go out together next time. Since Chen Jinpeng asked me to pursue you, then I will follow his order to pick up girls. We don't have to worry about being caught having an affair. Shen Jingxian blushed and took a look at Xiao Chen. She wanted to agree in her heart, but she said lightly, Xiao Chen, don't say that. It's not good. He was just joking. In the past, Shen Jingxian always said what she wanted. But now, she found that she had become bad. When Xiao Chen said that he wanted to have an affair with her, her first reaction was that she was looking forward to it. Alas, how could this be? Sitting right behind Xiao Chen, Cheng Menjing was about to explode. What did he mean? You are my servant now. Are you allowed to pick up girls? However, because of Chao Yuliang and Chen Jinpeng's presence, she chose to hold back and decided to explode after returning home. Seeing that Cheng Menjing was gnashing her teeth, Jean Beibei chuckled and whispered to Cheng Menjing, Cousin Menjing, are you jealous? Cheng Menjing glared at Jean Beibei and said, Don't talk nonsense. I just think that he is not qualified as a servant. Xiao Chen heard their conversation, but Chao Yuliang and Chen Jinpeng were too weak to hear it. They were helping Shen Jingxian carry her luggage under the car. Not qualified as a servant? Xiao Chen smiled bitterly. It seemed that he was already qualified, wasn't he? No wages, tireless work, an all-rounder. Young Mrs.'s requirements were really high. Was she choosing a servant or a fiancé? After Shen Jingxian left, Chen Jinpeng did not want to sit in the last row with the luggage. He wanted to sit in the front, but Xiao Chen was in the passenger seat, and Cheng Menjing and Jean Beibei were in the second row. He did not want to sit next to Jean Beibei. It would be comfortable to sit in the car, but he would lose another car. Chen Jinpeng walked to the passenger seat and glanced at Xiao Chen. Then, he said, Boss Xiao Chen, can I discuss something with you? Xiao Chen asked, What is it? Can I switch seats with you? You and Jean Beibei can sit together, and I'll sit in the passenger seat? Chen Jinpeng said. Nowadays, you can't switch seats without some benefits, can you? Xiao Chen said. Chen Jinpeng was depressed. Damn it. But he still said, Boss Xiao Chen, I'm your underling. Isn't it natural for a boss to take care of his underling? At the critical moment, I'll help you to break through enemy lines. Just like today, when I met Sun Rongjin, the dumbass. Oh, okay. You said it. Next time I'm in trouble, I'll come to you. If you don't come, I won't be friends with you anymore. I won't hang out with you anymore. We'll break off our friendship from now on. Xiao Chen said with a smile. Of course, no problem. Chen Jinpeng was remorseful and hateful at the same time. Why the F***ck did he switch seats for no reason? Great, now he was trapped. He had to be ordered around like Xiao Chen's little brother. If he didn't do it, Xiao Chen wouldn't play with him. How was he going to get rid of Xiao Chen? However, when he thought about it, Xiao Chen was not far from death. When Li Shanying came back, it would be Xiao Chen's death. So, what was the big deal about being his underling for a few days? Okay, let's switch then. Xiao Chen got out of the car quickly. Then, he opened the door of the second row and was about to get in. However, what greeted him was the eldest Mrs. Angry look. Go there. Xiao Chen had no choice but to go to Jean Beibei's side. Jean Beibei, on the other hand, welcomed him very happily. Brother-in-law, I'm tired and want to sleep. Turn yourself into a pillow for me. As soon as Xiao Chen got into the car, he saw Jean Beibei lying on his lap. This feeling seemed very good. It was soft and soft. What was it? Boobs. Xiao Chen thought of some evil things again. However, Jean Beibei's angle really made his imagination run wild. Hey, Beibei, do you know that men and women should not touch each other? You can lie on my side if you want to sleep. Looking at the angle where Jean Beibei fell, Cheng Menjing also felt that it was a bit evil. However, she did not have a boob like Jean Beibei's. Beibei has fallen asleep. Please leave a message if you need anything. Jean Beibei said. Cheng Menjing knew that Jean Beibei was relying on Xiao Chen. She sighed slightly. Did Jean Beibei really like Xiao Chen? At least, Cheng Menjing had never seen Jean Beibei being so intimate with any boy during the years that she had known Jean Beibei. However, seeing that Jean Beibei was sleeping soundly, Cheng Menjing did not want to disturb her anymore. Therefore, she just let her sleep. In fact, Jean Beibei was quite tired last night. Although she appeared to be very confident in Xiao Chen, she did not sleep well. Cheng Menjing was also tired. She closed her eyes in a daze. After returning to the villa, Chao Yuliang and Chen Jinpeng left. They did not come to visit. In fact, Chao Yuliang also knew that he would not get any benefits if Jean Beibei was there. He might even be cheated. Jean Beibei had not been with Cheng Menjing so frequently before. Was it because of Xiao Chen? Thinking of this, Chao Yuliang wanted to kill Xiao Chen even more. The appearance of Jean Beibei and Xiao Chen had seriously affected his plan to pursue Cheng Menjing. After returning home, Cheng Menjing and Jean Beibei went upstairs to rest, while Xiao Chen hurriedly decocted the medicinal materials. Xiao Chen felt it was a pity that he missed a whole day yesterday. His time was limited. The old demon of West Mountain was coming. How could he waste time? Chao Yuliang sent Chen Jinpeng back. Then, he found a place to park the car by the roadside and took out his phone. His phone rang just now, but he did not answer it because there were other people in the car. After calling back, Chao Yuliang immediately said respectfully, "Boss, are you looking for me?" Chao Yuliang, didn't you say that you would cooperate with Li Shan's younger brother or elder brother to kill Xiao Chen? Why is Xiao Chen not dead yet? The voice on the other side of the phone was a little annoyed. Chapter 214. Chao Yuliang was a little confused by the anger that was pouring down on his face. What about you? If you can't do it, I will replace you. It's not good for me to deal with Xiao Chen, but it doesn't mean that I can't support a new puppet. I think Lu Zhenming from Songning Second High School is not bad. What do you think? Boss, it was just an accident today. Xiao Chen was saved by someone. Chao Yuliang suddenly had a lot of cold sweat on his back. He knew that he was being monitored. At least, the boss knew that Xiao Chen was not dead, but he didn't have the time to report it. My time is limited. 10 days. I will give you 10 more days. If Xiao Chen is not dead, you know the consequences. After that, the phone was hung up. Chao Yuliang held the phone with a ferocious expression. Xiao Chen. You are very good. If Li Shanning is useless, I will do it myself. I will use my inner force, stage strength to kill you with my own hands. Chao Yuliang was very thoughtful. Besides the Chao family, the boss was the only one who knew that he had inner force. However, they wouldn't say it out. On the other hand, Xiao Chen was killed by a martial artist. Even if there was suspicion, it wouldn't be him. The only thing he was worried about was that Chao Yuliang was afraid of leaving some clues and traces when he took action, or being seen by others. Therefore, Chao Yuliang didn't do it himself. Moreover, he had to be wary of Lu Zhenming's intervention and trouble. Shen family. Shen Jingxian came back. Although this trip was extremely dangerous, Shen Jingxian was very happy. It was a very fulfilling experience to go on an adventure with the person she liked. Shen Zhenghao saw that his daughter was so happy. He thought that she had made progress with Chen Jinpeng, so he asked, Xian, are you getting along well with Jinpeng? Ah. Golden Rock? Shen Jingxian was stunned. She recovered from her memories and nodded lightly. It's all right. That's it. I feel like there's nothing to talk about. Let's watch for a while more. Shen Zhenghao was a little confused. Was Shen Jingxian so happy because of Chen Jinpeng? Then why? So he asked, Xian, you look very happy. Did something good happen? It's nothing. The shark meat Xiao Chen cooked for Cheng Menjing was delicious, Shen Jingxian said. Xiao Chen. Shen Zhenghao frowned slightly and said to Shen Jingxian, it's best that you don't get involved in the matter between him and Cheng Menjing. The fight between the Xiao family and the Cheng family has nothing to do with our Shen family. It's not good for us to get involved. Oh. Cheng Menjing and I are best friends. It's nothing for us to play together. Shen Jingxian also knew that her father was right. It was best for the Shen family, who wanted to achieve great things in Songning City, to not offend anyone. Yes. Shen Zhenghao nodded and said, if you and Jinpeng think it's okay, hold the engagement ceremony first. The Shen family sent a message that they need a batch of medicinal materials. However, each warrior guild market has a purchase limit. Therefore, they want to see if they can purchase more from Songning City through the relationship of Chen Jinpeng's father, Chen Huanling. Ah, I see. Shen Jingxian didn't have much resistance to the family's marriage arrangement in the past because she didn't really like anyone. She felt that life was just like that. Marriage and children, as long as the other half was okay, it was fine. Which disciple of a big family didn't think like that? However, since yesterday, this idea had quietly changed. Wouldn't it be better if she could be with the person she liked? Moreover, Shen Jingxian didn't want to have a deep relationship with Chen Jinpeng anymore. She was feigning civility now just to go undercover. Your second great-grandfather is going into closed-door training and needs a lot of elixirs. With the strength of our Shen family, it's impossible to purchase too much because it's a purchase limit. Even if we use our connections, it's impossible to purchase all of them in one place. Shen Zhenghao said, if this matter is successful, it will also give your brother extra points. Shen Jingxian suddenly fell into silence. Her brother's matter had always been the direction that she had been working towards. Her brother had the ability and strength. However, it was only because Shen Jingshuan's mother wasn't born in a big family that her brother's inheritance score was naturally lower than others. Therefore, she had to make up for it through hard work. This was Shen Zhenghao's regret, and also Shen Jingshuan's regret. However, her mother couldn't choose, and her brother, Shen Jingmao, had never complained. He had been working hard silently. However, the more it was so, the more Shen Jingxian wanted to help her brother's efforts. She didn't want her brother's efforts to go to waste, so she agreed to her father's marriage with the Chen family. However, at that time, Shen Jingxian didn't have a sweetheart. In addition, Chen Jinkuan's strength was not bad, so she accepted it. But now, Shen Jingshuan's heart, which had been calm for 20 years, had a slight ripple. She didn't want to marry Chen Jinpeng anymore. However, her brother's matter was a bit tricky, which made her very embarrassed. Dad, Chen Jinpeng is not as good as Chen Jinkuan. I want to contact him again. Okay, but you have to be quick. Although your second great-grandfather may not be in closed-door training immediately, you still have to hurry up. Shen Zhenghao said, if this matter is successful, then your brother will get a lot of points. If we want to buy the materials, can't we not go through the Chen family? Shen Jingxian hesitated and asked, I heard that the Xia family in the provincial capital is the supplier of the warrior guild. Recently, they are fighting with the Sun family in the neighboring city. If we purchase directly through the Xia family, Jingxian, I am very pleased that you can notice these things, but you are a girl after all. You have to stay at home to take care of your husband and children. I know what you said. Do you think I don't want to use it? However, the Xia family's share of the supply of ordinary medicinal materials was reduced, not the supply of special medicinal materials. Everyone knows that although the price of special medicinal materials is high, the quantity can't be increased. The Xia family can't supply much, and the profits are all in the ordinary medicinal materials. Otherwise, do you think that with the Sun family's background and channels, they can compete with the Xia family? Shen Zhenghao sighed and said, most of these medicinal materials are directly supplied by the Hong Chamber of Commerce. Ah, I see. Shen Jingxian was a little disappointed. It seemed that no matter what, she couldn't get rid of Chen Jinpeng. Otherwise, who would have the connections to contact the Hong Chamber of Commerce? So, Xian, I can only inconvenience you for a while. Dad is also in a bit of a dilemma. Shen Zhenghao sighed. If it was Shen Jingxian, she would definitely tell her father not to fight for it. However, for her brother, she had to persevere. Xiaofan finished decocting the medicinal materials. After drinking it, he started to train crazily. However, what made Xiaofan disappointed was that after training, the breakthrough didn't come as expected. Thinking about it, he didn't know when the old witch of Xishan would come. However, he couldn't delay it forever. What should come will come eventually. He sighed. His bank card only had about 2 million yuan left. After using the medicinal materials for another day, he would have to buy the medicinal materials the day after. He didn't know where to find money. Xiaofan realized that the speed at which he was spending money was too fast. After training, Xiaofan picked up his phone and started to do missions on the Warrior Guild app. He wanted to see if there were any good missions that he could accept. However, when he picked up his phone, he saw an unread message. It was actually from Xia Fei. She asked him to call her back when he was free and look for her if there was anything. The Xia family was holding a family meeting at the moment. Everyone was unprecedentedly nervous. Even Xia Fei, who was far away in Songning City, was summoned back to the provincial capital. All the children and elders of the Xia family were sitting in the meeting room. Everyone, tell me. This time, the Sun family is clearly trying to steal our business. Moreover, the method is very despicable. They used Medicine Master Sun's identity as the person who has the right to inspect the quality of medicinal materials to say that the quality of the medicinal materials supplied by the Xia family is not good. This greatly reduced our supply share. The Sun family will make up for the rest. Xia Chaonan said, if this continues, I'm afraid we won't be able to keep the remaining share of the Xie family. This is just the beginning. Brother, don't we have a good relationship with President Ma of the Warrior Guild? Can we ask him to speak up for us? The one who spoke was Xie Chaonan's younger brother, Xie Chaobei, who was also an elder of the Xie family. Medicine Master Sun's identity is special. Moreover, this is a matter of the market. Medicine Master Sun belongs to the Hong Clan Chamber of Commerce. It's really difficult for President Ma to speak up. Xie Chaonan had also thought of taking the route of the higher-ups. However, there were many things involved in the market. It was not something that President Ma could make the final decision. Then what should we do? The Sun family is really too despicable. They used an overt plot to make us unable to resist. This is a situation where we will definitely die. As long as Medicine Master Sun is in the Warrior Guild, the Xie family will not be able to make a comeback. Xie Chaobei said with some distress. The Xie family had been in the limelight for more than 10 years. With the support of the Warrior Guild, they had become the behemoth they were now. In order to do business in the Warrior Guild, those aristocratic families would always curry favor with the Xie family. However, in the blink of an eye, the Xie family's luck had come to an end. Because the Sun family had an ambitious medicine master son, the Xie family could not break out of this situation. Father, why don't we start an all-out war with the Sun family? This is a situation that will not end until one of us is dead. If we continue like this, we will not be able to sell the medicinal herbs and they will spoil. We will die no matter what. Why don't we fight it out? Xie Huang said angrily. Childish. How do we fight it out? Send out the warriors to fight it out? If that happens, it will be our Xie family's fault. The Warrior Guild will never allow such a situation to happen. We are businessmen, not bandits. Xie Chaonan shook his head. Your second uncle is right. They are using an overt plot. Xie Huang shrunk his head. He was just saying it casually. After being scolded by his father, he immediately stopped talking. Father, I have thought of someone who might be able to help us. Xie Fei, who had been listening in on the family meeting, suddenly spoke up. You're tuning in to the Xiaofan's Wuxia Tales YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.